Centricom, Channel 10 Sports, and Mid-Utah Radio, the sports leaders in South Central Utah, now present another exciting high school football game broadcast. This sports broadcast is brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. And now, let's go live to the football field for simulcast coverage of high school football on Mid-Utah Radio and Centricom Channel 10.
Good morning and welcome to Zions Bank Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're excited to be here for a game between the Beavers and the Milford Tigers. Scott Langford, I'm here with Tyler McMullen. And Tyler, this is going to be an epic matchup. And these two semifinal matchups in the 1A classification should be fantastic today.
Yeah, you can't complain with the quality of football you're going to see today between Beaver and Milford and Kanab and North Summit. This game ended in probably one of the closest two games of the year that I watched. The other one would be Beaver and North Summit in the 5 overtime. Milford having a chance to tie, go for the win, or lose at the end of the ball game. They opted for the third option and lost on a fake missed field goal or a fake missed field goal. But I'm excited to see the adjustments that these two teams made off of that game. Beaver comes in. They've only played Enterprise twice since that game, so I don't know if they've been challenged since that game. Milford had a tough game against Kanab the following week, ended up going down getting beat by 6.
We'll talk about all that coming up on our pregame. Right now it's the defending state champs, the Beavers, and taking on in their way the Milford Tigers. This has all the potential to be a great matchup. This is the Snow College pregame. Did you know the Snow College was ranked the safest campus in Utah? That means you can live on campus in a location mom and dad can feel good about. That's what we call a win-win. Visit snow.edu. It is a cold morning here at Zions Bank Stadium. I've got 38 degrees. It's going to be a little chilly for another hour or so, and the weather, not a lot of wind though, just a little bit out of the south, so not too bad. But this has all the makings for a great game. Welcome to all of those from Beaver County watching and all over the state as you watch football on the on TeamHive.live, and then listen in on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. We'll take our first break on the Snow College pregame, and we've got some great coaches interviews coming up with Statman Dave, with Coach John Marshall of the Beavers and Coach Thane Marshall of the Tigers. All this and more on the Snow College pregame on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network at TeamHive.live.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Here in Beaver, Utah, we take farm to table seriously. Our cheeses are made using milk from family farmers just down the road and processed next door by artisan cheesemakers. It's what makes our cheese curds the best you've ever had. And when you visit our store off I-15, you'll feel our deep farming roots as you enjoy a meal, a scoop of ice cream, and farm-to-table cheeses. With outdoor seating and room for kids to learn about dairy farming and cheese making, it's the most fun you'll have on your next drive through Utah. Visit thecreameryutah.com to learn more.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Tyler McMullen. This is the Snow College pregame, and we're happy to have this first game of the day, the semifinal matchup between the defending state champ Beavers and the Tigers of Milford High School. Let's throw it down to Statman Dave, who's with Coach Thane Marshall of the Beavers. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks, Scott. Coach, first of all, welcome to the semifinals, and congratulations on a great season with your team this year.
Yeah, we've done pretty good. Not where we want to be, but pretty good. You know, it's never a very good season when you lose 3.
Yeah, but when you look at the 3, I mean, the parity of the first 5 teams, you know, in this region, it's neck and neck, and you know, one score makes a difference in all those 3 games that you end up losing.
Right, I'm just kidding. It's great to be here. It's great to be part of the Final Four, and you know, as small as we are in numbers, it's an accomplishment. But we're not settling for hopefully for an accomplishment or just a moral concept. We want to move on to next week.
Yeah, and I know, you know, championships are always the goals for the teams, but from a coach's perspective, and I know you as a coach and a person, and your focus is for development of these young men, and I think you do a great job in that area.
Thank you. You know, this great bunch of kids, we end up all, you know, both sides of the ball. It's kind of ironic. There's a million motels up here in northern Utah, and we both booked the same one. So, you know, continental breakfast, they were all kidding around, I guess. I don't know. I didn't go down. I probably have more animosity than the kids do. They're all fun. They're all buddies, and they all have fun. And so, you know, that's a testament to both sides that they can have breakfast together and then hit the football field to try to knock each other's heads off.
Yeah, that's excellent. A friendly rivalry. That's wonderful. This is kind of a repeat matchup from a few weeks ago. And did you learn anything new about the Beaver team or your team during that game a few weeks ago?
You know, I think our team learned that they don't need to be scared. They can play with anybody if they put their mind to it. Beaver, you don't learn nothing new about them. They're the same thing as they've been for how many years? Who knows? They're tough. They're mean. They're dedicated, and they're very disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves.
Yeah, I agree. They've had a program kind of installed, but you've kind of done the same with Milford and gotten these kids to a high level as well.
Well, we're getting there. You know, it's pretty tough to play up a level, and but these kids, they all chose to stay up a level 2 years ago, and so you know, we're happy to be here, but this is not our goal. This is not our goal to reach the semifinals. Our goal is to play next week.
Yeah, and that's a great goal. If you could say there's you know, 1 or 2 keys for this game to come out with a win, what would those be?
We got to catch the football, you know, and then we got to stop up the middle run, and we got to stop them from going outside. But we stopped them outside last game, but they ran up the middle on us, and we had a couple of crucial drops in that first game, and you know, we got to play 4 quarters. We can't spot them 14 points today and then expect to come back and beat them. They're too good of a team to spot them. We're going to have to play every possession, make every possession count, and hopefully we can get a couple of stops on the way.
Well, and I have to credit your kids. They're very resilient. You know, the last time you played, Beaver got up 2 touchdowns. They came back and made a game. Last week against Duchesne, Duchesne gets up 2 touchdowns. They come back and take that game. And I mean, that's one of the most impressive things about your team to me, is that the resiliency that they have.
That's one thing I think that this coaching staff has instilled in these kids throughout, from when we first started 11 years ago to now, is back in the day you would get home beat down 14, 20, you know, 21, 14 points, and we just kind of roll over and die. These kids, they're not going to roll over. They can be down 30 points and they're still going to be hitting hard and playing hard.
Yeah, and that's a great group of kids. So we wish you the best of luck in today's game, and sad that both teams can't win, but that's the nature of the game. But we certainly wish you the best with your kids today, and hope that it's an injury-free game, and wish you the best in the next game if it comes to that.
Thank you.
All right, we'll send it back to the studio for a timeout and hear from our sponsors.
Bose Auto Parts is a locally owned company, and their mission is to be the leading parts provider by serving their customers, team members, and communities through hard work, integrity, and striving for excellence. Bose Auto Parts has 5 key locations across Utah: St. George, Cedar City, Beaver, Mount Pleasant, and Saratoga Springs. Bose delivers to wherever you are and community you might be in. Between their stores, they have won 16 Platinum Awards, 4 Best of Iron County, 3 Best of Southern Utah, 2 Best Places to Work. That's Bose Auto Parts.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on the Snow College pregame. Scott Langford, Tyler McMullen, and it's the Beavers and the Tigers coming up in 20 minutes. Right now, we've got Statman Dave with the Snow College pregame interview with Coach John Marshall of the Beavers. One more time, Dave, down in the cold.
Thanks, Scott. Coach, welcome to playoffs here in the semifinals. It's amazing it's come this fast.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. It's been a good season. It's great to still be playing this time of year.
And at this point of the season, I would expect you shouldn't have any problem motivating your team to get up for a game like this. But with high school kids, sometimes they get over elevated. What do you say or what do you do to keep their emotions at a level to just focus on the game and not get too high or too low?
Well, we just try to keep things as normal as possible. We just try to follow the process that we go through, and this is just a game just like all the other games that we've had. As far as we're out there trying to win. We're trying to figure out how to win the game. We're figuring out how to play at a certain level, and there's no doubt that it's a big game with a lot at stake, and our goal is to win a state championship, and it's a game that we have to have. And so we just try to stay focused on what we do. We don't need to do anything different. We don't need to we're not gonna do anything out of the ordinary. We're just going to come out and do what we normally do on a weekly basis, and hopefully that's going to be able to carry us forward.
And you've had some great games, exciting games. This a few weeks ago, this matchup with Milford being one of them, comes down to the last seconds of the game. And what did you learn about your team, and what did you learn about the Milford team during that last meetup 3 weeks ago?
Well, I don't know if we really learned anything about the Milford team. We already knew that they were a great team, and we knew that they weren't going to quit when they got down early. And so, yeah, Milford's very, very good. I think for our team, we've had to realize through the course of the year that things are going to get tougher for us. I think at the beginning of the year we had some good wins against some bigger schools, and I think a lot of people felt like, well, that's great, and they're going to do well against where they play. But we told our team all year, the teams in our classification are going to be the toughest teams for us to beat, and Milford's a great example of that. It was a tough game. I'm really proud that our kids hung in there through some adversity, and so I think we learned that we have to be our best. That if we just show up and don't play our best, then we're probably not going to win. And obviously today it's going to take our best effort if we want to get it done.
Great. And for this game today, is there a key stat that you would say is key to get a win in this game today?
Well, for us, it's unfortunately it seems like it comes down to penalties. If we can not have penalties, we seem to do well. As far as really, that's really all that kind of stops us on offense. Is if we don't get penalties and we don't have those kind of miscues, I feel like we're going to be able to move the ball. Obviously, Milford's going to make some adjustments. Our ability to run the football, of course, is going to be big, and then defensively, we've got to get them off the field. They do a great job. They got a great quarterback, and they got great skilled players. So, it's both teams are going to make adjustments, and we're going to see which team's adjustments, I guess, work the best. And then it's going to come down to some big plays. Who gets a turnover, who breaks a tackle, who ends up hitting a big play at a key time, and those things are going to matter as well. And so we're just excited to be here, and we're excited to have the opportunity, and we're playing a great team, and it's a great opportunity for us.
Excellent. Well, we sure appreciate taking time with us and wish you the best of luck in today's game.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
Okay, we'll send it back to the studio for a quick timeout.
All right. So that was Dave Howard with Coach John Marshall of the Beavers, and happy to have you along for this broadcast this morning on TeamHive.live and on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. This is the Snow College pregame. Did you know that Snow College has the lowest tuition rate in the state? It's a great education, great value, great location. You've got everything. Just visit snow.edu, home of the Badgers. So big thanks for Snow College to sponsor this. Now, Tyler, as we take a look at this, let's look at these 4 teams. 2 great semifinal matchups. I said all season long, I said there's 4 teams that can win this. You've got the Beavers, the Tigers, and the Cowboys of Kanab, and the North Summit Braves, and those are your 4 semifinalists. If we take a deeper look at these 2 teams, Beaver and Milford, number 1 in the RPI, number 4 in the RPI, 10-1, 8-3 against the top 4. Beavers 2-1 with that lone loss to the North Summit Braves, and then Milford 0-3. But that's a little bit misleading because the Tigers have lost by less than 1 score in each of those games.
Yeah, they played tough against them teams. And one other thing to point out, too, is I feel like it's a factor coming in is, and you see it in the other classifications, too, Beaver played a very tough preseason schedule. They got challenged at the first of the year, played some tough teams. The other 3 teams, I think it showed in the RPI, and that's why Beaver ended up staying at number 1 in the RPI, is their preseason schedule wasn't as tough as the other.
Let's shift down there and talk about it.
Yeah. So, that, like I said, notable wins, Beaver, Grantsville, South Summit, Layton Christian, 2 2A teams and a 3A.
So at number 3 in the RPI, number 5 in the RPI, and then Layton Christian in the...
they didn't get to play in the playoffs. And then North Summit, I mean, their toughest game was South Summit, number 5, and Milford, Delta. So, I mean, that's just
number 4 in 2A.
It's just a testament to the tough schedule that Beaver has played coming in. To get to where they are and being ranked number 1, even with a loss compared to North Summit, who is undefeated.
Yeah, these 2 teams, the streaks for these 2 teams, the Beavers with a 5-game win streak, the Tigers with a 1-game win streak. They did lose to Kanab in the season finale. These 2 teams are separated, just for those of you who might not be familiar with people from Beaver County are very aware, but separated by 35 miles. They're in the same school district, same county. It's Beaver County, and it's separated by the Mineral Mountains. Milford is the smallest school in 1A by a ways. It's kind of... Everybody's in a bunch. Beaver, Enterprise, Kanab, Parowan, all in kind of a bunch. North Summit, I mean, there's a bunch right there within, 10, 15 students of each other. Milford by far smaller. In the top 4 grades, 110 kids. So you're looking at about, less than half of all the other schools. Beaver, Milford are both top 10 in the academics of the state. I talked to Coach Dave, or Principal Dave Clough last night, and he said one of the best things about this is that they are in the top 10 in academics for 2 small schools, and that's statewide at any level. So this is some quality educational institutions as well. And then one of the cool things, the Beaver Milford game down in Milford this season honored a Beaver student who has who's been fighting lymphoma, and it was and with ties to both communities. And that was kind of a fun game for us.
Yeah, it still gives me tingles just to talk about it. And if anybody that is listening was there or could have been there, you should have seen the environment that football game brought and how it brought the county together, because we were all there for one purpose, honoring that fine young lady. So
and it was so much. And then it became a classic as well. So, and then shout out to Taylor Smith as well in her battle, and we wish her the very best. For the Beavers, it is the 10th consecutive semifinal matchup. That's the 4th longest streak in high school history, and it's a school record, so 10 straight in the semifinals. And that's kind of crazy to be in the semifinals. That's a lot of winning for a team. The Beavers have won 5 titles in that time, so they are 5-4 in those matchups. And well, not necessarily. They've only lost 1 actually, so they've actually played for state 8 out of 9 years. This will be 9 out of 10. And then they're going for their 6th championship in those 10. For the Milford Tigers, the semis in 2020 championship. They played in championship against Beaver in 2019. Semis in 2018 against the Beavers, both losses to the Beavers. And then 2020 was the last semifinal matchup for the Milford Tigers.
Right, and the previous 2 years before that, they were back-to-back 1A state champions.
State champs.
So
yep, and
that's all in Coach Thane Marshall's tenure. He took over, and within 1 year they were in a championship game and won. So, I mean, there's another testament on what he's done for Milford's football program.
Yeah, you look at it. Let's take a look at this. The Milford Tigers with 3 championships, as you mentioned, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And, and then just competitive the whole time.
The most important one on your list right there, Scott, right there at the top. That one that says baseball won in 2019.
Tell me a little bit about that one. Was that one fun?
That was unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable, to win a baseball championship.
Who coached that team? I'm not
sure.
Because it required some really great coaching.
it required the benefits of having some great kids, Scott.
That is the truth.
And some great parents, and that's what championships are made all about. I was just fortunate to be a part of it and enjoy the moment with the kids and
we were
athletes.
That was amazing, and we were all rooting for it. That was a fun run.
And I always like to bring up that the first baseball championship did come from the west side of Beaver County. Just to let the Beaver listeners remind them of that a little
there
bit.
you go.
I do like to bring that up sometimes.
Yeah, they had to follow, but they did. For the Beavers, 14 football championships. The first in 1970, the last, of course, last year in 2023. This is a football county.
Yes.
Beaver County is a football county, and we look forward to this one. We're going to take another break on the Snow College pregame, just a short one. We're about 11 and a half minutes away from kickoff of this morning's first semifinal matchup. Later on in the day, you're going to see San Juan and Delta. And then following that one, we will have the Kanab and North Summit matchup in the other semifinal to see who takes state. Can the Beavers continue their quest for a back-to-back championship, or are the Tigers going to be the spoilers? We'll see. All that and more on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network at TeamHive.live.
The quarterback counts on his O-line for protection in the pocket. In Delta, you can count on Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay to protect your family's blind side no matter what life throws at you. Chad is there to handle all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't scramble around working with multiple insurance companies. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay today and see how he can help protect what matters most. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
We are all part of a team. Whether you are the quiet hero or the newest recruit, the steady anchor or the moral support, your team needs you. At Intermountain Health, Fillmore Community Hospital, we want to be part of your team. Partner with us on your health and continue to be a game changer for your teammates.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on the Snow College pregame. Did you start a degree but then life got in the way? It happens all too often. Well, you can finish your degree from home at snow.edu. So check it out. There's online options, in-person options. Snow College is a great institution. We appreciate them sponsoring our pregames. Once again, it is the semifinals to see who plays for state next week at Southern Utah University. And you've got the Beavers and the Tigers now, Beaver and Milford, and then the North Summit Braves and the Kanab Cowboys coming up this afternoon. So this is a lot of fun coming up, and we got some great football. These two teams are a contrast in style. You've got the Beavers run, and then you've got the spread attack of the Tigers. How do you see that playing out in this game?
Oh, well, we get up here into this, a little bit colder weather. You're going to be looking at this hard-nosed football is definitely has an advantage that Beaver plays. Running the football, ground and pound. Milford has been able to make the adjustments in the past to play in these cold weather games, though, and throwing the ball and passing the ball. So it should be more of the same as far as what you see, Milford passing the ball, Beaver running the ball. There's not going to be anything changed at this point in the season.
No, I think you know what you're going to get in this one, right?
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, the Beavers averaging 262 yards per game on the ground, while the passing yards, they have 83 yards per game. So you're looking at just over 300 yards per game. The Milford Tigers, likewise, 300 yards per game, a little over. 228 through the air, 97 through the ground. So, interestingly enough, these two teams just completely converse, but they both can do the passing and the running.
Yeah, and I think the difference in this game is going to be if Milford can run the football against Beaver's defense, and I think Beaver's going to have to complete some passes in some tough spots. That obviously showed when they played last time. Beaver could not complete the passes that they need to put that game away.
Well, and when we talked about that, the Beavers, got the ball to start the game. It looked like it was going to be a beatdown. There was 2 quick touchdowns by the Beavers, 14-0, and then a pick 6 by the Milford Tigers, and they came roaring back. And then the Beavers had to, hold on literally at the end for that win down in Milford.
Yep, no doubt. They're doing the coin toss right now, so we're going to find out the verdict on who's going to get the ball first. I think both teams are in the position of they both want to score early and get a jump out.
Looks like Beaver won the toss. So Beaver did win the toss. They will defer. I think Milford might have taken the ball had they had the opportunity.
I think so.
So I think this worked out either way. I think this coin toss was a formality. You just got to pick which side of the field you wanted to defend the end zone.
Yep. No doubt.
So the Beavers will always defer to the second half, and the Tigers will always take it first. And so it will be the Milford Tigers with the ball to start this game. Let's take a look at some of the leaders in this one. For the Beavers, it is senior quarterback Bodie Wheatley, 819 yards passing on the season. Again, doesn't average a lot, but he's very effective. And that run, and then the occasional pass makes the Beavers dangerous.
Yep, and it looks like completing just about 60%. Is that what that says right there?
About 60% of his passes. On the rushing side, the Beavers just loaded at running back. They've got lots of options. You got Deegan Blackner with 828 yards, 638 for Davin Orton, Wheatley with 420 of his own, and then Andrew Hollingshead 388, Gage Radden at 324, and then Deegan Horner coming off of injury at 168.
Yeah, almost over.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit ipautah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Kickoff is going to come early here at Zions Bank Stadium as we're going to start about 7 minutes before the hour. We had some other pregame stuff we were going to talk about, but let me quickly cover the leaders for the finish the Beavers receiving Gage Radden and Deegan Blackner, and then tackles on the defensive side, Andrew Hollingshead. For the Milford Tigers, 4-year starter senior Kilo Sosi has 2,400 yards this season through the air. Amazing. On the rushing side, Walker, Sosi, and Merriweather. And I'm sorry, that is rushing. Then receiving, you've got Statler Barnes, Colton Barnes, and Walker. Almost 1,000 yards for Statler Barnes this season.
Yep. Good stats there for the Tigers. They're ready.
So real quick, keys to the game. Well, we'll cover this in a minute. Mike's Foodtown key of the game. We're just going to go with the kickoff as they jumped it up. So here we go. It'll be Horner for the Beavers kicking off to the Tigers. Horner with the kick. High kick. Going to be taken right at the 10-yard line. And that's by Barnes, I believe. Barnes with a nice lane on the left side. He's going to have to get through to the kicker. Man, what a great return for Barnes.
Great momentum starter for the Tigers, getting out to near field with a 45-yard return-ish. So there's the momentum. Let's see what we got coming out for the Tigers on offense.
Yeah, Barnes with a great seal block on that outside edge as he just took that left side. There was no moving. He just went right up there. Great blocking, and it was the kicker who eventually had to take out Mr. Barnes. So here we go. The Milford Tigers start on their own 46-yard line. Great starting field position as we start the semifinal matchup. Sosi in the shotgun. He'll direct some traffic. Griffin Walker will go to the left side. 2 receivers right and left. Now motion. Oh, the ball goes off the turf. Sosi back to pass. Open receiver in the middle. That is Sadler Barnes. First down for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Sadler just able to sit in that hole right at the stick. So I feel like that, and I was going to talk about it, keys of the game. The Beavers needed to close up that gap right there. The Tigers really exposed it in the first game, so that's going to be an adjustment they're going to need to make.
Here we go. First down, 10, ball at the 40. Sosi stays in the shotgun. Mike's Foodtown keys to the game. Quick pass. And it's going to be Colton Barnes near a first down again. The Tigers had success with that quick pass early on, and they're doing it again.
Yeah, the Beavers have been known, I mean, the last 10, 15 years, they set back in that cover 2, cover 4, cover 3. I mean, they ride off, they ride off the receivers about 7, 8 yards, and they give that up. So
here we go, 2nd down and 1. Sosi now under center. Quarterback will hand off. Tigers get around the edge, trying to find it. Nothing there. Puffer with this big stop.
And that's one thing you see about the Beavers' run defense, and they're prepared for it. That defense has to play against that run all day long in practice, every day.
Yes, they do.
So no surprise to them.
Jex Puffer with a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 3. 10:41 in this first quarter of play. Milford on the march. They're in Beaver territory at the 33. Sosi in the shotgun. 2 right, 2 left, and Neto in the backfield. Sosi back to pass, looking over the middle, checks. There's an open receiver. Neto with the first down inside the 20.
Great play design and call by Coach Marshall as he's able to get Neto right behind them linebackers right in front of the linebackers, and there was a big hole right there for Neto.
Yeah, Neto stopped. He stayed to block for a second to protect Sosi and then released at the moment. The linebacker didn't follow. And so Milford in the red zone on the first possession of the game. Impressive possession for the Tigers so far. Ball at the 18. Sosi alone in the backfield. Now motion. And he'll head off to Barnes. Barnes trying to catch the edge and runs into Hollingshead, I believe. Loss on the play.
Yeah, too tough by Andrew Hollingshead as a great middle linebacker for the Beavers. He leads them in tackles, right?
Yes, he does.
That's what you talked about. Yeah. He's just tough to get around, and they were ready for that little jet sweep to Colton Barnes.
People say, why do you run? Well, you have to run to keep the defense honest. If you don't run at all, then the passes don't work. 2nd down and 11. Sosi, ball's at the 20. Neto in the backfield. Sosi looking left, now right, switches under some pressure, and a sack for the Beavers.
Yeah, number 64 for the Beavers.
Maverick Albrecht.
Maverick Albrecht. He had a great game down to Milford when they played down there.
Yeah.
Did Maverick, and that's going to put the Tigers in a 3rd and very long situation after being in the red zone.
That is a big sack for the Beavers. So now, tough time for the Milford Tigers. 3rd down. And let's see, it is going to be 3rd down and 18. So the Tigers, with an impressive drive, slowed down by 3 tackles for loss on this series of downs. Sosi alone in the backfield. They'll send Merriweather out to the side. Sosi back to pass. Sosi under some pressure, he'll release and go down. He'll gain 1, so no sack, but the Beavers hold, and decision time for the coach of the Milford Tigers.
Yeah, you're almost in 4-down territory right here, and if you do turn over on downs, it's not a big loss for the Tigers as Beaver will have a long field to go against.
So 4th down and long for the Tigers. The offense stays on the field. 8:18 left on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. No score, first possession of the game. The Tigers with it. 4th down and long. Sosi back to pass. Here comes the pressure on the right side, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown.
Great play by Sosi to Cheney. Beavers stayed in a cover 2 on the backside with Cheney, and Sosi threw it in the gap. They were pressured heavy to Barnes and Barnes' side, and what a great read by Sosi.
17-yard, let's see, 20, how far was that?
27-ish?
27-yard pass to Cheney. And what a perfectly thrown ball to Cheney as the cornerback just went for it, just missed it. Cheney kept good concentration. That's a tough catch.
Yeah, he had to throw it in between the corner and the safety. The safety was there on time. I would assume that if Coach John Marshall has anything to say about it, he'll want that guy to go for the tackle instead of the ball.
For sure, and the PAT will be blocked. And so that will leave the score 6-0 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Impressive drive for the Tigers, faced some adversity, fought through, score on their first possession.
Yeah, great job by Milford to get ahead of the scoreboard, which they didn't do last time against the Beaver and was ultimately the deciding factor in the game.
Well, we talked about the Beaver defense ranked #1 in this 1A classification. So we talked about keys to the game. Mike's Food Town. Appreciate Mike's Food Town, your full-service grocery store providing fresh produce, quality meat, fresh bakery, deli, cold drinks, and a whole lot more. Mike's Food Town on Main. But for the Beavers, offensively, we'll be running the ball. For the Tigers, it will be exactly that. Balance on the offense. Short passes, long passes. The touchdown was a long pass. But it was short passes that made the difference on that possession.
Yeah, and they use that short passing game to kind of cover up what they don't do for the run. You know, they use that to cover up what they can't do. And I said before, you know, I'd like to see the Beavers make that adjustment of not give up that short stuff. See if they can make Milford beat them over the top. Milford did beat them over the top for a touchdown, so kind of some counteracting theories here for both teams.
Blackner and Horner back for the Beavers, and there's a pooch kick going to go out of bounds about the 30, so good field position for the Beavers as they do not want Deegan Blackner or Deegan Horner with the ball.
Yeah, the Tigers have done that multiple times this year. That's almost kind of their kickoff play. They put their fast guys over there and try to recover it. If that stays in bounds, it might be a different story.
Well, actually, it was if you watch where that kickoff went, it was in a really nice spot, just in the flat.
Yep.
And a little dangerous. And so it did they'll go out of bounds. So it'll be on the 35-yard line. That's where the Beavers will start. Down 6-0 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. We're going to be looking for a State Farm Insurance player of the game. Brent Stapley is your State Farm agent. If you've stuck in a state of falling behind, contact Brent Stapley. Here's the first possession for the Beavers. Heavy on the left side. Wheatley in the shotgun. Wheatley will hand off on the left side. No surprise. Here's Blackner. He'll cut in. Good pursuit by the Tigers.
He's still
going.
But
the Beavers are going to gain 5.
Yeah, great job by Deegan Blackner to keep them feet going and get 5 out of that. He was hit at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, he was. Good rush, and the line helped with the push afterwards. That last game between Beaver and Milford was one of the hardest hitting games I've seen in a long time. That was lots of big licks dished out in that one.
Yep.
Second down and 5. Wheatley stays in the shotgun. Radden in motion. He'll take the ball, running around the right side, trying to get the edge. Tigers can't get it. He'll get the edge across midfield and more. And the Beavers with a Riverstone Contractors first down.
You know, the Tigers did a very good job last game of bottling that play up around the edge. The Beaver were running out of under center, though. This time they go out of shotgun, and I don't know if that changes the look or the eye or gives different things you have to prepare for. But, you know, great job by Radden to get to the edge, and nice run.
Riverstone Contracting, Plumbing and Heating in Richfield, and now Beaver has the equipment and skills to perform timely, high-quality service for residential and commercial jobs. First and 10, ball right at midfield. Here's a handoff up the middle. Horner, he'll sidestep, get a good gain on first down. Beavers will take it. That's 5 more yards into Milford territory.
Yeah, Beavers are definitely averaging what they want to average here on this drive, you know, 5+ yards a carry, and they're methodically going to take it down the field.
So second down and 5. 7 minutes to go in this first quarter play. Milford 6, Beaver 0 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. And the Beavers will run backs in and out. You'll see Horner coming out, and you'll see Hollings head in. They've got a load of running backs in the stable. Wheatley under center. Now motion to the right side. Wheatley will do a quick pitch to Blackner. He beats the first defender. Second, third, fourth, fifth, clean it up. No gain on the play.
Great job by Griffin Walker to slow him down. They are going to give him a gain of 1, but once Walker slowed him down, the rest of the Tigers' defense was there. If that play goes to the wide side of the field, Scott, it's probably a different story for Blackner, the way he made Walker miss, but there was just no room to operate over there on the short side.
No, in that one hesitation step, you called it very well. That one pause made all the difference.
Yep.
And the rest of the pursuit able to catch up. So third down now for the Beavers. 3rd and 4. Ball at the Milford 44-yard line. Wheatley stays under center. Here's a snap. Hand off to Blackner again. Blackner stopped the backfield. He'll make a cut and going to get near the first down. That will be very close, and it will be a first down for the Beavers.
Yeah, had to get to the 40. He got right to the 40, so great job just winding his way through the defense. Tigers actually did a very good job of containing and turning it back, but it was just too big of a hole for Blackner right there.
So first down and 10. Both teams working through some tough spots, and now it's the Beavers with the ball at the Milford 40-yard line. Just a reminder, we're also looking for a Timberline Restaurant sub of the game. Just one visit Timberline Restaurant, you'll know why many people on I-15 stop frequently. Here's Wheatley handing up to Horner. Horner breaks 1 tackle, and he'll gain 4 or 5 on first down. The Beavers just pushing the yards a little bit at a time.
the Tigers and they've done a good job of getting initial contact at the line of scrimmage, but the Beaver backs just too strong to fight through arm tackles and make big gains out of what could be tackles for losses or no gains.
Yeah, Braden Carter was into the backfield, had an arm on the running back. To be fair to Braden, though, he had an arm on the ball player, but that's about it because he made a good play to get there. 2nd down and 5. 4:44 left in the first. Here's a handoff to Hollingshead, hit immediately, and he'll gain a little bit, but a great play individually.
Boston Thompson on the carry for the Tiger, or on the tackle, did a great job. That belly play, that was the play that the Beavers ran against the Tigers in the first matchup that we didn't really have an answer to stop, so it's good to get a stop on that play right there.
So Thompson with the tackle, 3rd down and 4. That moves the ball down to about the 33-yard line. Everybody on the left side for the Beavers. Here's a quick pitch out. Here's Blackner. Blackner one-on-one with Barnes. He'll run through the tackle. 1st down yardage for Deegan Blackner.
Yeah, just enough to pick up a 1st down. I'd like to see Colton Barnes right there, go low on Blackner and wrap up them legs. He went high, and Blackner was able to fight forward for 3 yards, or you're looking at 4th down.
Yeah, but Blackner with the shiftiness.
Yeah,
I think Barnes had to stay up to see which way he's going to go. If he goes low, that's
see where he's
Blackner with that little hesitation step. So. But I agree, tough spot. 1st down and 10, nearing the red zone. Here's the Beavers, already down 6-0 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Here's a handoff up the middle. Here's Horner. Horner with a good hole, and he'll cross the 25-yard line, gain of 6 or 7.
Another great run by Horner. Pickup of 7, you said? Yeah, that's about right.
About 7. Caleb Carter comes up limping for the Beavers, and he'll get back to the huddle, but he's limping pretty heavily. 2nd down and 4. Both teams healthy currently. The Beavers did have a season-ending loss to Mason Murdoch, a great player.
Yeah.
And that's been a big loss for the Beavers. Tore his ACL against North Summit, but everyone else healthy for both teams. Carter hobbling. 2nd down. I think the Beavers will call a timeout, and they do. As Carter goes down to his knees. We'll take a short break and be back with more action from Zions Bank Stadium. It's Milford Tigers 6, Beavers 0, but Beavers threatening after this on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network at TeamHive.live.
School is back in session, which means cold and flu season isn't far behind. So stop by Service Drug today and receive your flu shot. They have vaccines available for all ages, and most insurances pay 100% of the cost. Service Drug also offers vaccines for other diseases, including shingles and pneumonia. Receive your injection in a private professional environment administered by licensed professionals. Let Service Drug provide your flu shot and receive a $5 coupon good on a $25 purchase, and be entered to win a $25 gift certificate as well. Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore, dedicated to your good health and good value.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor, and the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days. Or get $6,350 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Caleb Carter, we talked about both teams being healthy and immediately an injury follows. Caleb Carter going to the training table, and we wish him the very best. And there's going to be a flag on the play against the Beavers, a mistake. I think the biggest problem the Beavers have had all season long has been penalties. So instead of a 2nd and 4, it'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and this is the first time in this drive that they've been behind the chains. So we'll see what kind of factor that plays here as they're trying to go in and tie this game up or take the lead.
Checking out the right ankle of Caleb Carter. We've got a pretty good view of that. So 2nd down and 9. And mistakes, both coaches talked about it. You cannot make mistakes in a game this big. These two teams are too good. Here's Wheatley under center. 2nd and 9. He'll back to pass. Has a receiver wide open and in. Touchdown! Wheatley to Hollingshead.
Great job by Wheatley. He scrambled out of that pressure and just had to get away long enough for Andrew Hollingshead to open up behind the linebackers and dumped it in there. So Maybe not the standard way that Beaver usually scores a touchdown, but they're definitely capable of throwing them passes.
Well, they got into the Beaver Valley Chevron end zone. Troy and his staff, proud supporters of Beaver High School, Beans and Brews, Dairy Queen and more on the South Interchange. But the Beavers, tie it up at 6. And after the extra point, we'll talk a little bit because both teams did exactly what they do, and we'll talk about it. Right now, it'll be Lurth for the Beavers trying to take the lead with the extra point. Holder will be Davin Orton. Snap is down, kick is up, and looks good is good. The Beavers take the lead 7-0 on the touchdown with 2:56 left in this first quarter play on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Now, Tyler, the Beavers did exactly what they do. Run, and then, the Tigers have to respect that run, and then
Andrew Holling said just snuck out of the backfield, and the Tigers didn't account for him. But like I said, that was the first time the Beavers was behind the chains all drive, and they decided to go with the pass. And there's Holling said, for a touchdown reception. So another thing is Lurth did not play in the Milford game, correct? They did not have a kick. Did he play in the Milford game?
I don't
think he was their kicker in the Milford game.
I think it was Horner.
I think Horner was the kicker. North Summit. He might
have still been on the protocol.
Yes.
On the concussion protocol. Now, interesting though, the Milford Tigers did the same thing their first drive. So these two teams have done what they want to do: short pass, long pass for a touchdown. The Beavers run, one pass for a touchdown. So both teams have mixed it up, show some balance, and it's 7-6. So here we go. 2:56 left in this first quarter. Beavers 7, Milford 6, and the ball falls off the tee. So we'll reset that. Usually the kicker says don't touch the football, but Reagan Bradshaw put that on the tee for Horner.
Hopefully it's in the right spot.
Exactly. Here we go. Horner approaches the ball, and the kickoff is up. Good kick. Little short taken at the 12. And at Barnes again on that right side. He had a great return to start the game. This time he'll get out near the 30-yard line. Decent field position for the Milford Tigers.
Yeah, good start again. The Beavers are kicking to that side. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if the wind's taking it there or what, but Colton Barnes is over there and one of the better playmakers, so you always want the ball in his hands.
We'll be looking for a Farm Bureau Financial Services key play of the game. They specialize in insurance for agriculture, life, auto, and commercial. They pride themselves in life planning and helping clients reach their financial goals. You can give Rachel a call at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Big thanks to them. They sponsor our key play and our stat check as well. We'll have that as well. Here we go. The Milford Tigers' second possession. Sosi in the backfield. Here's a quick pass over the middle. Ooh, nearly taken away, but then it was caught, and a great move by Walker.
Yeah, Andrew Holling said almost got underneath that pass, and if he intercepts it, there's nobody in front of him in the end zone.
No, and I had to say, ooh, because that was so close. In traffic, what a perfect pass by Sosi to Walker.
Yeah.
And Walker gets the ball all the way out to the 44-yard line, so a quick hitter for the Milford Tigers. So 14 yards, ball on the 44. Here we go, handoff. This is to Colton Barnes. Barnes up the middle, nothing there as he's stopped for no gain on the play.
Yeah, that run defense of Beaver is tough. I believe it was Maverick Bradshaw stayed home, was able to initially contact. Nope, that was Andrew.
That was Andrew Hollingshead.
He was the first guy there.
Yep, Hollingshead came up in the middle and stopped, plugged the hole. So now second down and 10. 2 minutes left in this first quarter of play. Sosi in the shotgun. I believe he has Neto with him. Hard to see the numbers. Back to pass. Sosi, here comes the rush, and he's under some pressure. Throws the ball away and complete to Walker. Boy, wrapped up by Bradshaw immediately. No gain on the play. Well, gain of 1, looks like.
Yeah, gain of 1. There was really nowhere to go for Sosi. With that ball, he was fortunately to be able to find, was it Walker?
Yeah, Walker.
Walker coming across the middle. Actually probably had more yards with Neto right in front of him, but.
Well, but he was under heavy pressure. Yep. He was already wrapped up around the waist when he made the pass. So pretty good. That's one of those interception kind of passes usually, but it was thrown perfectly by Sosi. 3 receivers left, 2 right for the Tigers, empty backfield. Sosi back to pass, looking on the left side, passes away, and up in the air, tipped up, incomplete. And a big hit, intended for number 6, Merriweather.
And that's going to bring the first punt of the game for the Tigers.
Yeah, Sosi will come off the field, so the Beavers hold. Boy, almost made that. Again, a perfectly thrown ball. I'm impressed with the placement by Sosi.
Yeah, it was a if he catches it, he gets the first down. But Beavers did a great job covering as well, as they had 3 guys there covering too.
Now, it was a perfect spot. The pass was high, and it would have been a circus catch. But, I mean, that's the only place he could put it. So here's a punt for the Tigers. Snap is good. Back, and the kick is away. Nice high kick on the right side. And Blackner will let it. Takes a Milford bounce. Can they stop it? And
nope.
We'll see what he says. Cannot. It will be a touchback. That was as close as you can get without it, being at the 1.
Yeah, and it just took a little quick bounce and didn't give the speed guy for the Tigers enough time to get down there.
Yeah, you can see that. Look at that angling in, just a little slow and just not quite. As it goes in, you can see just across the line. So the Beavers will start on the 20, leading 7-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. In the 2A classification, it will be the San Juan Broncos against someone. Now, the game's not over. Here comes the Delta Rabbits. They look to be the spoiler, but San Juan looks almost unstoppable in that 2A classification. The 3A, it's Richfield and Morgan next week. And there'll be a false start on the Beavers, so 5 more yards. That'll push the Beavers back.
Yeah, I couldn't see. It looks like it was the tight end on that left side got a little early jump.
Slot back. It got caught on the lean as he anticipated the snap count. Just kind of leaned forward and got the 5 yards. The defense actually jumped but didn't cross the line, and I think that's what sparked the lean. Yep. So first down and 15. Ball at the 15. 39 seconds left. Pretty fast first quarter. It's everything we hoped it would be. 7-6 right now. Beavers with a 1-point lead and the ball. First and 15. Here's a handoff to Radden. Radden has a big space across the 20, 25-yard line, goes airborne, and he'll get most of that back. Second and short coming up.
Yeah, great job by Radden on the counter. Great play design. He had a big hole, and he did what he does.
Great blocking as Radden was untouched for quite a while. 19 seconds. We'll see if the Beavers get a playoff. It's second down and 2. 7-6 on the scoreboard. Albrecht will switch out to the left side. Down to 10. Wheatley under center. Wheatley with a quick pitch on this left side to Blackner. Blackner has blocking and a lane. He's got the edge, and he'll go across the 40. First down for Beaver High School, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. It's the Beavers 7, the Tigers 6 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and TeamHive.live.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Trust. Earning yours is our top priority. At Valley White Co-op and Ag, we support our growers and local communities with all of their propane and ag needs. Our expert energy group supplies residential and commercial propane services, including tank installs and monitoring, so you'll never run low or empty. Our local agronomy services include fertilizer, seed, and the expertise of a local crop advisor to meet your farm's specific needs. Valley White Co-op and Ag, serving the Delta Valley with integrity and customer service. Visit valleywhitecoop.com or call 435-572-0244.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here from Zions Bank Stadium. Beavers 7, Tigers 6. Beavers with the ball. The ball's on their own 41-yard line. Shout out to everybody watching online. And here we go. Here's Wheatley. He'll take it himself. Designed run. Oh, big play, but a great play by Walker. Stopped a much larger gain. So second down and 5.
Wheatley's down.
And Wheatley's down, and that's not good news for the Beavers. They do have a good backup in Orton, but Wheatley.
Low tackle. I wonder if he got a rolled ankle too. You hear all the stories about pro teams and all these teams about playing on turf field and the injuries that it causes.
Let's see the replay, Barrett, if you don't mind. So Wheatley, it is a leg injury. He's struggled with the shoulder a little bit, but this one ends up being the leg. So Wheatley, with the designed run, had a lot of space. Walker comes from behind. Didn't look too weird, but it was that low tackle. And so Wheatley being attended to. And we'll take a very short break and be back. He'll be getting up, so we'll keep it here. Wheatley hobbles off. We've already had Caleb Carter for the Beavers out with a leg injury. Wheatley, that's good news that he's walking. We'll see if he can shake that one off. And for the Beavers, they hope for their quarterback, this will be just a stinger. So that'll bring Davin Orton, the junior, into the game. He hasn't had a rush so far this morning.
Yeah, he's only been in a couple times, even at his fullback spot as well.
Yeah, Wheatley walks away from the trainer. He's walking down the sideline to walk it off. Here's a handoff to Rad. Ran in the backfield, has to break a tackle. He makes a good cut. And another one, and he'll get near first down yardage. And if he would have just pushed forward, he would have had the first down. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, Braden Carter hit him in the backfield again. Just them arm tackles just are not working for the Tigers. And Gage Radden, give credit to Gage Radden. He's running hard this game.
Yes, he is. 3rd down and 1. Wheatley continues to work on the sideline. Right ankle looks like he's picking up the pace a little bit. I think you'll see him back in the game. 3rd and 1. We're at 11:06 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Here is Orton. He'll hand off. This one's to Blackner. First down easily across the 45-yard line.
Nice drive going for the Beavers right here off of the punt of the Tigers. They're just doing what they have to do and maintaining possession of the football. Sorry, that was a mouthful.
I enjoyed Coach Stain Marshall talked about these kids ate breakfast together. And on the field, lots of helping each other up, and it's really fun to watch. Great sportsmanship on the field. Here we go, Orton in the shotgun. He'll run on the left, designed run again. He'll follow a block, and he'll shoot forward. What a great job following blockers for Davin Orton.
Yeah, first carry of the night for Davin, and he made the Tigers pay with a nice gain of 7.
Yeah, gain of 7 on the play following big number 66. That's Jackson Lopshire, talented lineman. The Beavers line has been exceptional this year, and so Wheatley will get that right ankle wrapped by Paul Eliason, Beaver Valley Hospital Physical Therapy. Big thanks to Paul. 2nd down and 3. We're at 10 minutes left in the half. Beavers by 1, 7-6. Here's Radden again. Big hole, gets the edge, and a first down. That is a Riverstone Contractors first down for the Beavers. Call Pete at Riverstone Plumbing and Heating, 435-896-6264. That's 896-6264.
The Beavers have every aspect of their run game working so far on this drive. They're getting the ball up the middle. They're getting the ball around the edges. The Tigers need to make a handful of adjustments here to slow this drive down.
Here we go, 2 receivers to the left for the Beavers. Orton in the shotgun this time. Blackner in the backfield. Orton will run on that left side, following Lopshire again. Flies forward and will pick up about 5 yards. The Beavers continue to just chunk away the yardage.
Yeah, they've shown a little bit more fire this drive, even than they did last time they got in the end zone, but they're firing off the ball and firing on all cylinders.
And there'll be a timeout for the Milford Tigers, and for our timeout, it will be a Tony and Dave's timeout, your premier auto collision center in Beaver, offering high-quality auto body and auto glass repair at pocket-friendly prices. Call Tony at 435-438-5409. We'll take a break and be back in 30 for more action from Zions Bank Stadium on KSL Sports and TeamHive.live.
I'm Dr. Winters, a general dentist in Richfield. I invite you to take advantage of our 20 years of experience when it's time to get your wisdom teeth out. We offer IV sedation so you can sleep through the procedure. We are right here in Richfield, so we are close by for all your pre- and post-operative needs. We strive to make the process comfortable, easy, and affordable. Visit wintersdental.com/wisdomteeth or call or text 435-896-6444.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back, 9-17. Coach Stain Marshall wanted to talk to his defense. Here's a handoff to Blackner. Blackner hit in the backfield, spins, gets out of it. He'll gain 1, but a good open field tackle by the Tigers.
Yeah, Boston Thompson there for Milford, and timeout worked, Scott.
It did.
Timeout worked.
It did. So just a reminder, those of you watching, you can watch on KSL Sports, TeamHive.live, listen in on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. Big thanks to all those who helped make this possible, all of the sponsors who we mentioned during this broadcast. But if anybody is having some trouble, there's just a lot of people logging on, so you might have a delay, but try KSL Sports or TeamHive.live. Here's a pitch out to Blackner. Blackner, big wall of blockers, gets to pick his way through, and he'll go across the 20, down to the 15, another first down for the Beavers.
Yeah. It's been a great drive by the Beavers, being able to push the ball down the field here.
Yeah, down to 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This drive started with 3:12 left in the first quarter of play, and they've been chewing up the time. Here's the Beavers. And Wheatley back in at quarterback, I failed to mention. Here's handoff to Orton. Orton up the middle. He'll pause and get a couple yards. Good pursuit.
Yeah, the Tigers did a great job buttoning that play up, forcing a cutback by Orton, and then they had a great fill-in by Sadler Barnes.
So Barnes steps in. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Beavers trying to get into the Beaver Valley Chevron end zone. Troy and his staff are proud supporters of Beaver High School. Beans and brews on that south end. This at the end of this game, you might need something at Beans and brews. Here's Wheatley. 2nd down and 9. Here's a handoff to Radden. Radden picks his way through, looks near the end zone, throws through the tackle, touchdown.
Great cutback by Radden on the buck sweep. The Beavers did a great job of forming that wall, and he seen the hole and fired into the end zone. Had one guy to beat and was able to run through the arm tackle.
Yeah, so the Beavers go up. 7:36 left in the first half of play. They go up 13-6. With an extra point attending. A really great job, the Beavers. That was a Beaver-type drive, just, slow, no big runs, just a lot of good, solid running.
Yeah, they were firing off the football. They just really had that end zone in mind on that possession.
Yeah, the Beavers go 80 yards, and we'll talk about the time here in a minute. Lurth, little awkward on the catch, but he puts it through, so 14-6. It's an 8-point lead for the Beavers. But, the Tigers in the first game showed resilience, down 14-0, only down 1 score in this one.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Beavers' offense is very capable of scoring on every possession. The Tigers are going to have to match that with punting away the football last time. And the way that the Beavers' offense looked so far, it's going to be tough, for Milford. They're going to have to claw back in this game.
Well, we talked about keys of the game, sponsored by Mike's Food Town. Proud to sponsor Beaver High School sports, but this drive for me will be a key drive. It's not the end drive, but I think this one, if Milford can come back, it puts momentum back on an even kill. Right now, the Beavers with 2 scores on 2 possessions.
Yep, no doubt. And see if they can get another great field position off this kickoff again and try to get some momentum back.
So Barnes and Merriweather back for the Tigers. And here's Horner with the kick. It's been Barnes both times on this left side. Here's Horner. Horner kicks up. That's a high kick. Right near and that will go into the end zone for the touchback. What a kick by Deegan Horner.
Yeah, and puts the Tigers starting at the 20. Like you said, a crucial drive right here to stay in the ball game. Where they're already behind, 8 points by missing the extra point on their touchdown. So this is huge right here.
Boy, we keep watching the geese come over the stadium. It is really a great sight. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but what a great sight. So Milford starts on their own 20. That's where Beaver started last time. Can the Tigers answer? Here is Sosi in the shotgun. He's got Neto with him in the backfield. Sosi, no. He goes up under, hands off to Neto. Nope, keeps it himself. He's got some pressure coming to the backside and hit as he throws. Holy cow, what a shot from the blind side.
Yeah, Davin Orton didn't have a receiver on his side to cover, so it was a straight go for him, and he got in. Sosi didn't even see him coming.
Yeah, Orton, he did not get, I thought he threw it away, but he actually got hit right as that arm was going forward. No chance on the blind side. So 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. If that goes 1 microsecond sooner, that ends up being a fumble on that backside.
Yep.
Here we go. Sosi in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right for the Tigers. Sosi looking to his right, now left. Under some pressure, he'll break now, gets it away. Caught the line of scrimmage. Walker does a great job. Ball's on the ground, but recovered by the Tigers. Gain of 3.
Yeah, who was that lineman? Trendon Thompson.
What a big break.
Way to be on your toes and see that football come out.
Yeah, that ball come out, and then Thompson there, Johnny on the spot, brings up a 3rd down and a long 6, maybe 7. We'll call it 6. 7:05 left on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. High quality health care at a community price. Check out Beaver Valley Hospital. 2 left, 2 right for the Tigers. Sosi in the familiar shotgun. Sosi looking back pass, looking left. Under a lot of pressure, here it comes. And Albrecht there, and it will be a short gain and 4th down coming up.
definitely in punting territory for the Tigers, as you don't want to give the Beavers the ball here. So good job by Beaver defense.
Yeah, Albrecht did a good job of slowing Sosi down, then cleaned up on that outside edge. I didn't see who the tackler
58.
was.
Zayden Gillens.
Yeah, Zayden Gillens tracked it down. 4th down, punt formation for the Tigers, and Deegan Blackner back. Blackner, a dangerous punt returner. Here comes the snap for the Tigers. Good snap. No pressure. Now the kick is off, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. No, it's going to bounce back. Yep, out of bounds finally. I think that's smart by the Tigers and a good punt.
Yeah, put the Beavers back deep in their own territory, which last drive it didn't matter. Like you said, they had a lot of fire on that last possession. Let's see if they can maintain that this drive.
The Beavers will start on their own 35-yard line. Really, the only great field position was Milford's first possession, starting at their own 46. All the rest has been between the 35 and the 20. So again, the Beavers start on the 35. They've got 6:36 left in this first half. The last drive took almost 8 minutes off the clock, and the Beavers will get the ball to start the second half. There's heavy on the right side for Beaver. And they'll do it to a back, Radden in trouble in the backfield. Spins out, is going to gain a couple. And the Tigers have had some opportunities for tackle for loss, but the Beaver running backs have been able to spin out.
Yeah, great job by Radden to turn that into something. Was it Radden? It was Radden.
It was Radden. Braden Carter again in the backfield, had a shot.
Yep. Still turns it into a gain of 3 to 4, you know. I mean, it's just tough to stop a team when you give up that many yards on first down.
Yep, gain of 4, especially when you could have been a -2.
Yes.
So 2nd down and 6. Well, 7. Wheatley under center. And they will call a penalty on the Beavers. Just a mistake will back them up 5 more yards. So it is a false start on the Beavers. That has been the Achilles heel of the Beavers all season long, just penalties at critical times. Caleb Carter moving now on the sideline, working out, trying to get the ankle going.
Yeah, so now they got the Beavers back a little bit behind the chains. A little bit of adversity, not much, but let's see if this kind of translates into something for the Tigers on defense here.
2nd down and 12 for the Beavers. 5:38 left in the first half. Wheatley back to pass, rolling right. Wheatley will turn and try to get loose, and he's going to go down. It'll be a sack for the Milford Tigers.
And that's just, that penalty, yeah, it's big, but it just turned into a lot bigger play because it forced the Beavers into a passing situation. They didn't have to, but that's what they called, and the Tigers was able to capitalize.
Yeah, the pressure applied by Trendon Thompson, and then the tackle was it Neto?
Max Williams.
Oh, Max Williams.
Yep, Max Williams, and Thompson come in and cleaned it up. Yep.
Now this is a 3rd down the Beavers don't like. 3rd down and about 16 to go. The ball's on the 29. They have to get all the way out to the 45. Wolf will split to the left for the Beavers. Wheatley, a very good passer as well.
Yeah, and Coach John's going to call a timeout right here, and I think a decision right here is going to be made is, do I try to get half of it right here, or do I try to go for all of it and kind of make a decision of where they're at?
Tony Dave's timeout. We'll take it. Be back with this for more on KSL Sports, Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, and TeamHive.live.
This is Nate Christensen at Zions Bank. We're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. And with a branch right around the corner, we're here for you wherever you are. For all your personal and business banking needs, come visit us and let us show you how Zions Bank is for you.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Big play for both teams. 4:48 left in the first half. The Beavers lead 14-6 in the semifinal matchup. The winner advances the championship game against the winner of North Summit and Kanab. That game coming up later. You can watch it on TeamHive.live. Listen to it on Media Radio Sports Network. Here we go. 3rd down and long. Here's a pass out to Blackner. The Tigers really read that well, gave enough yards, but just enough. And that'll be 4th down.
Yeah, nice little conservative play call there by Coach Marshall. Didn't take a risk. There actually was a receiver coming down open about 12, 13 yards downfield. We can't see it on the broadcast, but Wheatley went with the check down, and the Tigers buttoned it up. So
Yeah, great play by number 10 for the Tigers.
Number 10. I don't think we have a 10.
11?
11. Sadler Barnes, yes.
Oh, it might have been 42. I think it was Thompson. Here's a punt by Albrecht. Good punt, but good space. And it's going to be Colton Barnes on this left side. Makes one player miss, turns, runs into some Beavers, but Milford starts with good field possession.
Yeah.
4:04 left.
Yeah, good job by Barnes to turn that into something. Sorry, I said that backwards. The Beaver did a great job covering Barnes up. There was a lot of room for him to run.
Milford on their own 42-yard line, so good field position for the Tigers. Critical possession for both teams. For the Tigers, trying to find the equalizer.
Yeah, with Beaver getting the ball after halftime, this is huge.
3 receivers right for the Tigers, 1 to the left. To the left is Saavedra. And there's Sosi with a quick pass out to Barnes. Barnes in some space, trying to get some space, has some blockers on the side if he can get loose. Just can't quite get there, but a great gain on first down.
Yeah, a couple nice, great cutbacks by Colton Barnes coming back to the middle of the field and get ahead of the chains.
Now you watch on the replay, you can see he actually has a wall of blockers. If he can just get past that one player, they're all there, but the Beavers' pursuit really, really effective. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Clock running, 3:35. 14-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. 3 right, 1 left for the Tigers. So he'll take the snap and hand off. This will go to Neto. Neto in the backfield. Runs into the Beavers. Loss of 1.
Yeah, Davin Orton did a great job containing that play for the Beavers, and just no room to run the football for the Tigers right now.
Yeah, no gain. So we don't have the stats yet, but we'll have a stat check sponsored by Farm Bureau Financial Services at the halftime. Give Rachel a call today to learn how to protect what you love with Farm Bureau Financial Services. It is a 3rd down and 4. 3 receivers right and 1 left now. Sosi in the shotgun again. Sosi back to pass, looking left. He'll break, and he is going to go down, a sack for the Beavers, Albrecht.
Great job by Maverick Albrecht. He's been putting pressure all game long on the Tigers' pass game, and that was huge for the Beavers.
Well, the Beavers don't blitz a lot. They play more of a contained kind of game, and so when you've got a down lineman who's able to beat that block and come up with a sack, it just enhances the defense. 4th down and 10, punt formation for the Tigers, 2:17 left. I would take the whole clock on this play if I were the Tigers. So back to kick. Who is back?
Barnes.
Okay, Colton Barnes, and there's the kick. It's going to go on the right side, staying away from Blackner, and will go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So the Beaver defense able to hold.
2:01 on the drive. On the clock left to try to get in the end zone for the Beavers. They're probably going to have to throw a pass or two if they want to score here. So let's see what Coach Marshall decides to do with the lead. Knowing you get the ball back, I mean, you can still take a chance on trying to get a big run and before you start throwing the football.
Well, and this is, we'll see what the coaches call out. Do they try to air it out just a little bit, or do they, or do they go with the conservative approach? Wheatley under center. 2 minutes left. 14-6 Beavers. Wheatley's back to pass. There's a pass away. That will be caught by Albrecht. Tries to slip the tackle, but a great job by the Tigers.
Stays in bounds as well. Clock is running.
Yeah, Sadler Barnes with a great open field tackle because Albrecht had a lot of green turf in front of him. Beavers in the hurry-up offense. 1:42 left. Wheatley will hand off. This one's going to go to Blackner. Blackner will go right in the middle. Gain of 1 maybe on the play. 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and about 3. Wheatley now in the shotgun, 1:25. And they will huddle up. So Coach Marshall, a little more conservative, will send a play in from the sideline. It'll be Wolf coming in. Beavers taking their time, so a little bit of conservative. 2 receivers to the left. Wheatley in the shotgun. There's Radden with the motion and a flag on the play.
Yep.
And a mistake, any chance might have been nullified right there.
Yeah, so if I'm Coach T, I'm going to take a timeout right here. Make sure your defense is set and ready to get a stop on 3rd and maybe get the ball back. You'll only have 1 timeout left, but another chance to score.
3rd down and 3.
Because the clock is going to run again, yep.
So the clock will run and the Beavers will take their time on the sideline. Looks like the Beavers will be content depending on what they call. Orton will bring it in from the sideline. Beavers are going to take all of this clock.
Yeah, use a timeout probably.
I'm guessing they might. We'll see. So there's a flag, delay of game, I believe.
I don't think that the Beavers knew.
Yeah, the Beavers just took too long. So what they don't have, because of they've got the clock on the field, so they don't have that count that they normally are used to from the back judge. But the Beavers took all of that play clock. 39 seconds left in the half. It's 3rd down and 8, leading 14-6 on the scoreboard.
And that play, that's a dead ball penalty, so that does stop the clock, right?
It does. Yep. Wheatley under center will hand off up the middle. That will be to, I think it's Orton, and he'll gain 2. And Coach Marshall will call a timeout, stop the clock.
Yeah.
With 36 seconds left. So we'll take a short break. This is a Tony and Dave's Timeout, your premier auto body collision center in Beaver. We'll be back on KSL Sports, TeamHive.live, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
As a urologist, my job includes treating kidney stones, diagnosing, treating prostate cancer, and other disorders of the urinary system. Here at CVMC, specialists and primary care physicians all work very closely together.
As a family physician, being able to have continuity of care and direct relationships with our specialists is something we're very fortunate to have here.
I'm Dr. David Sewell, board-certified urologist. I'm proud to provide state-of-the-art care here at Central Valley Medical Center.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
36 seconds left in the first half of play. The Milford Tigers have the Beavers in a 4th down and 9. Ball on the Beaver 26-yard line, so a punt formation likely. And I think that was a smart timeout. All kinds of things happen on punts.
Yes.
So 14-6 Beavers with the lead in the semifinal matchup. The winner advances to the championship game next Saturday. Albrecht back to kick, and it's going to be a flag on the play. I believe it's another delay of game, or maybe there's 12 players. We'll see. So the officials coming up from the backfield, back judge.
There is no penalty on the play.
No penalty on the play. And so they'll reset the game clock to 36 seconds. I'm not sure what that was, so we don't know. So he's saying put 36 back on the clock. There it is. All right. Now again, here's the...
A very interesting exchange in the last 3 or 4 sets.
Beavers will reset. 4th and 9. Here's the punt formation. Snap is back, and the kick is coming.
Ooh.
And nearly blocked. That was very close. And a fair catch caught, and it's going to be a penalty on the Beavers running into the receiver. So that'll be a flag on the Beavers.
Yeah.
That'll give the Tigers.
And I don't know if that was intentional by Barnes or not, but that was a very late fair catch call.
It was a smart move by Barnes. He saw the player coming in, and not only did he make sure he was in the way of the player, but he also made a tough grab.
Yep.
So we'll see what I'm not sure how many yards this call is. I don't know if it's a 5 or a running. So interference against the Beavers.
That's 15, I think.
It is 15 yards. Yep. So I said a lot of things can happen on a punt, and look at this. The Milford Tigers will start with the ball on the Beaver 37-yard line. Huge.
Yep. In range of the end zone for Sosi from this far.
So the Milford Tigers start with their best field position. That was almost not a punt.
Yep.
As they have it on 37. So here's Sosi with 33 seconds to work with in the first half. The quick hit offense of the Milford Tigers looking to tie this one up. Sosi back to pass, looking over the right, has a receiver, and oh my goodness, what a hit. That was painful.
Yeah, Gage Radden
Holy cow.
Was sitting and waiting for that crossing route, and the Tiger receiver slow to get up.
Yeah, geez, Carson Chaney, watch this. He fumbles, turns, and sets himself up. Ouch.
The ball was just a little bit behind Chaney.
Let's mention Beaver Medical Clinic and your score update, 14-6. His mom works for Beaver Medical Clinic in Milford, in the clinic at Milford Memorial Hospital, and that might be a rib check at some point. 27 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 37. Sosi takes a snap, back to pass. Looking on the left side, passes away, and
great
little
defense
behind the receiver. Good job by the Beavers defender.
Yeah, number 16. Is that 16 or 15?
I think it's Davis Carter.
Yeah, number 16, Davis Carter, with a great defensive play for the Beavers. Colton Barnes probably has a touchdown if he doesn't get a hand in there.
Yeah. So 21 seconds left in the half. 3rd and 10. Nice pass, just a great defensive play. 2 receivers right, 3 right, 1 left. Neto in the backfield with Sosi. Sosi back to pass, looking right. Now the pass is away, caught in the flat, and it's going to be Sadler Barnes, I believe, down near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, great job by picking up a first down, get down there. Clock stops.
Now there'll be a timeout. We're going to keep it here and talk about this. I think that's the last timeout for the Tigers.
Yep.
15 seconds left. Ball at the 22. So Coach Stain Marshall says, let's stop it. That might have taken a second to get.
Yeah, I seen Coach West. He was given the clock, so it looked like they was going to run up and clock it, but that could have cost you 5 more seconds. So.
Yeah, because it was a long completion. So the Tigers threatening at the 22. This drive, this opportunity at the end zone, critical for the Tigers to stay in this game.
Yes.
Not that it's over by any means, but this would be huge at halftime, going in with some momentum, down 14-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard.
Yep, and that 15 seconds left on the clock, ultimately you could get 2, possibly 3 shots at the end zone here with 15 seconds left.
Yep, and the Beavers gave that middle zone. So now the Tigers won't be able to do that little pass in the middle. They're going to have to take shots at the end zone or on the corners.
If they do it, they've got one chance to do it over the middle of the field, then they got to clock it. They've got one chance. But other than that, everything else got to go sideline or incomplete.
So to the left comes Colton Barnes, Sadler to the right. There's Sosi in the shotgun, 15 seconds left. Sosi back to pass, looking left. And under some pressure, breaks away, passes up, and he'll throw that away. Smart move by the senior.
Yeah, I don't know if Chaney was supposed to break to that corner.
I think he just threw that away. Let's watch this. I think he knew he was in trouble, time clocking off. He just threw that. No one in the area. Yep. So I think that was a smart move by Sosi. He got outside the tackle box in the minute he did.
If he did, he was just barely outside it. I see the Beaver coaches were
looked
complaining.
at it.
Yeah, the Beaver coaches were yelling.
Alone in the backfield is Sosi. 2 right, 3 left now for the Tigers. Sadler Barnes, Colton Barnes on that left edge, along with Walker. Here's Sosi back to pass. Passes away towards the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted by the Beavers, and I think that's Carter with the interception.
Yeah, great job by Davis Carter. Sosi just kind of threw it to a spot, didn't have nobody in the area, and Sadler Barnes could not catch up to the football.
Yeah, it took a break, and it was Carter, the sophomore, steps in and makes a big move. And it's big because it stops that one more attempt by the Tigers to get to the end zone.
Yep. And I'm assuming you'll see Beaver probably just come out, run one play or take a knee. I don't know if they want to risk a fumble or something right here this close in the end zone.
I think you'll see this be a kneel down. And it is a victory formation kind of thing. So that'll do it for the first half of play. What an entertaining first half of football as Milford scores first. Beavers with 14 unanswered. They lead at halftime, 14-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. And what a great first half. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up at halftime on the Jones Mill Engineering halftime. We'll have stats, keys to second half, and a lot more. It's 14-6 Beavers over the Milford Tigers on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, and KSL Sports.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
This school year will be different.
This year, I'll do my assignments.
on time.
I will listen to my teacher.
I solemnly swear.
I won't eat any glue.
I'll do my homework every night.
Every night.
Research? No problem. School? I got this.
This year will be different. Visit Centricom.com to power your education with the best internet experience. Everyone succeeds with School to the Power of Centricom.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Here in Beaver, Utah, we take farm to table seriously. Our cheeses are made using milk from family farmers just down the road and processed next door by artisan cheesemakers. It's what makes our cheese curds the best you've ever had. And when you visit our store off I-15, you'll feel our deep farming roots as you enjoy a meal, a scoop of ice cream, and farm to table cheeses. With outdoor seating and room for kids to learn about dairy farming and cheese making, it's the most fun you'll have on your next drive through Utah. Visit thecreameryutah.com to learn more.
Bose Auto Parts is a locally owned company, and their mission is to be the leading parts provider by serving their customers, team members, and communities through hard work, integrity, and striving for excellence. Bose Auto Parts has 5 key locations across Utah: St. George, Cedar City, Beaver, Mount Pleasant, and Saratoga Springs. Bose delivers to wherever you are and community you might be in. Between their stores, they have won 16 Platinum Awards, 4 Best of Iron County, 3 Best of Southern Utah, 2 Best Places to Work. That's Bose Auto Parts.
The quarterback counts on his O-line for protection in the pocket. In Delta, you can count on Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay to protect your family's blind side no matter what life throws at you. Chad is there to handle all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't scramble around working with multiple insurance companies. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay today and see how he can help protect what matters most. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. It is halftime. The Beavers and the Tigers. It's the Beavers with a halftime lead, 14-6. And what a ball game. This is the Jones DeMille Engineering halftime. From first downs to touchdowns, the Jones DeMille Engineering team is here to help you tackle the toughest infrastructure issue. So give Jones DeMille a call. We do appreciate Jones DeMille sponsoring our halftime. And Tyler, this Scott Langford with Tyler McMullen. This has been a great first half of football. As you know, what we saw is right off the bat, Milford gets the ball. They get it on their own 46, and they immediately score on a touchdown pass from Sosi to Cheney, and the Tigers off and running.
Yeah, and they did a great job on that first drive, and then their offense kind of went a little dormant, and then they had some things going, had a penalty and trying to score there at the end of the half, but. So far so good. Good game, kind of what we expected. Yeah. Close 14-6 ball game. That extra point Milford got blocked, I think, is going to be a factor, though.
Yeah, it definitely could. So then the Beavers got the ball on their own 35-yard line, and in about, it'd be about 8 minutes of play, they scored a touchdown to take the lead 7-6 on a 28-yard pass from Wheatley to Andrew Hollingshead.
Yeah, and the Beavers just used their will on both of their scoring drives to, put that football in the end zone. And I think we seen there later in the second half, the Tigers did a little bit better job of containing that run game. Now, can they carry that into the half? The momentum they would have got after scoring a touchdown right there would have helped, but that's going to be the key factor for Milford.
It certainly will. The Beavers did on their second possession also score a touchdown. It looked like Beaver was really doing it, but then just like the first time these two teams played, the defenses exerted themselves, so it became 14-6 with 7:36 left in the half. After that, it was a punt by the Tigers, a punt by the Beavers, a punt by the Tigers, a punt by the Beavers, and then the last drive stopped by an interception in the end zone for the Beavers. So, a missed opportunity for the Tigers.
One of the things that Coach John talked about too, the penalties had some factors on them punts for the Beavers, and for Milford, I believe the lack of being able to get the running game going really caused them punts for the Tigers as well.
No, I think so. And let's take a look at some of the stats from the first half. Of course, the stats sponsored by Farm Bureau Financial Services. Farm Bureau agent Rachel McCauley is a locally owned and operated small business committed to protecting the local community with insurance and financial options. Give Rachel a call at Farm Bureau Financial Services. And this is our halftime stat check on the Jones Mill Engineering halftime. So as we look at the stats, we talk about the fact that you've got a passing team and a running team, and the halftime stats bear that out. The Beavers on the rushing side of things, 115 yards to 51 through the air. And the Tigers, net yards rushing, minus 20 with the losses, and then 112 yards through the air.
Yeah, a couple of big sacks for the Beavers really put that net into perspective for the Tigers. But, you know, like we said, we talked about it pregame. Two teams that do the exact same yardage, just in different fashions. Yeah. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, they certainly did. So total yardage for the first half, 166 for the Beavers, 92 for the Tigers. So not a lot. The Beavers about at their average. The Tigers a little bit lower than their average due to the fact the run game not really able to get going.
Yep, and they used them short passes on that first drive, and then I feel like they were still calling them plays, but the Beavers did a great job adjusting and taking that away.
On third down, here's an interesting one. On the third down, both have had 6 opportunities on third down. The Beavers are 4 out of 6 to convert, and the Tigers 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
So a little bit different there. Sacks, 2 by the Beavers and 1 by the Tigers. Let's take a look at the individual stats. Appreciate Brad James from Centricom, Utah Radio Sports Network, providing the stats, and also Statman Dave on the ball as well. So with the rushing for the Beavers, Radden leads the way with 49 yards, 35 for Deegan Blackner. Davin Orton has 18 and 11 for Deegan Horner. And so, you know, just like you've seen all season long with the Beavers, you have lots of opportunities for these running backs to get yards.
Yeah, and one standout there for me is the Tigers have been able to contain Andrew Hollingshead in the first half. He did have some carries, and they were able to keep him under the boot, but you know, Radden and Blackner and Orton, I mean, they're running you can always expect Beaver having 3 guys that are going to have good rushing yards, rushing stats. And
it makes it dangerous when you can do it with more than one ball carrier. On the Milford side of the ball, on the rushing side, it is really no one with positive yardage. Sosi minus 15, minus 4 for Neto, and minus 1 for Colton Barnes. So it's been really stifling defense at the line of scrimmage for the Beavers. Through the air, though, Sosi is 9 for 15 for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. That touchdown to Cheney, and his long pass was that 32-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, great job by Sosi. You know, 9 of 15. I think he finished the last game 16 of 19 in Milford, if I remember the final stat. So a great game. The Tigers doing what they do. The Beavers are just a little bit better on defense than the Tigers are on offense, and that's what the score shows.
Yeah, that's true. Receiving for the Tigers, Walker, 3 receptions for 20 yards, 29 for Sadler Barnes, 16 on 2 receptions for Colton Barnes, and then Cheney with a touchdown pass. Judd Neto with a beautifully called play. I think you'll see that play again in the second half where Neto releases out of the backfield, but he's got also 15 yards through the air. So I think that's about it for our stats, and this is the Jones Mill Engineering halftime. Champs are propelled by dedication, teamwork, commitment, and vision, and desire to be their best. Jones Mill is your local engineering firm. Give them a call. They've done a project for Beaver Valley Hospital, did a great job, so appreciate Jones Mill Engineering sponsor our halftime. We'll take another break on our halftime and be back with keys to the second half and a preview of the rest of the action coming up from Zions Bank Stadium here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, and KSL Sports.
Looking at Derek, he was starting to have joint pain, and so being able to offer him surgery, see that weight loss, see him able to spend time more with his kids and say, hey, yeah, I can hike a whole lot further and I can keep up with my teenager, and that's the most rewarding part of doing these surgeries. So I would recommend anybody that finds themselves struggling with weight loss, they're in that BMI of above 35 or 40, and they feel like they want to do more, they want to get this permanently resolved, come and visit with me.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit ipautah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
School is back in session, which means cold and flu season isn't far behind. So stop by Service Drug today and receive your flu shot. They have vaccines available for all ages, and most insurances pay 100% of the cost. Service Drug also offers vaccines for other diseases, including shingles and pneumonia. Receive your injection in a private professional environment administered by licensed professionals. Let Service Drug provide your flu shot and receive a $5 coupon good on a $25 purchase and be entered to win a $25 gift certificate as well. Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore, dedicated to your good health and good value.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor, and the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days. Or get $6,350 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network at TeamHive.live, all sponsored by KSL Sports. At 2:24 left in halftime. Looks like we might start this one early too, as both teams out on the field. Now they will warm up. But it's been a great half of football. 14-6, the Beavers on top. Let's talk about keys to the second half, Tyler. This, I think this first drive is going to be key. Now, with these two teams, I don't think it's, I don't think you say like this drive is the dagger drive. Not yet, because the Tigers so explosive. But I do think it's a critical juncture in the game. This one possession could really set the second half.
Yeah, the Tigers, they need to do a better job on defense of getting the Beavers behind the chains on first and second down. Mm-hmm. The drives that they did, that Beaver did have to give up the football. And that's going to be crucial right here to force Beaver in a passing situation. The Tigers have got a great pass rush, and let's see if they can get a stop on this first drive, I think that's going to be huge.
Well, for the Beavers, it's just business as usual. The one thing the Tigers have done really well is keep away the longer runs of the 20, the 15, the 20 yards. We've seen a couple, but mostly it's just been the Tigers done a great job keeping that. But I think the Beavers eventually, they want to get to the point where they can break one with Blackner or Orton or Hollingshead or any of the Ratton, all of them. There's
wear
a bunch.
That defense down enough that's just boom, they're gone.
Yeah, and then you see the wheel route comes out from the pass.
Yep.
As soon as the Tigers load up the box. So I think in the second half it'll be the Beavers' execution. And for me, it's all about mistakes. The Beavers have stopped a couple of drives in that first half with a couple penalties, which pushed them back a little bit and made it a harder opportunity. So instead of second and 4, it was second and 9. And I think those little mistakes cost the Beavers in the first half.
Yep. And for the Tigers on offense, they've got to get that extension of their run game with them short passes and them screens, get that going.
So do they give up on the run game, Tyler, or do they just
you don't ever give up. You don't ever give up. But they can use their short pass game as an extension of the run game and be effective.
And you think about it, Colton and Sadler Barnes both running backs.
Yes.
I mean, those two could be running backs, and in the Beaver offense, those two would be running backs. And so it is, as I like what you said, it's an extension of that offense. It's just the run game in the passing formation of it.
Yeah, let them two do great things with their yards after the catch and really use their explosiveness. For the Beavers, I think you're just going to still see the same. You're going to see Radden and Blackner around the edge, and they've been very successful with that. Yeah. The Tigers have done a pretty good job of stopping the middle stuff. So we'll see where they go.
All right, here we go. A half ready to go. Right now it's the Beavers 14-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. That's let's call that your Beaver Medical Clinic score update with offices in Milford, Beaver, and Parowan. And here we go. Second half kickoff coming up. And here it is, and it's a little kick, and it's going to be taking a nice stop in the flat, right? The 20 picked up by Orton.
Oh, he's got some blockers.
And Orton's got some blockers and some room. Can he get the edge? He's going to get it 25-30, and a flag down. That was going to come back inside the 20, and that will be too bad for the Beavers. And we talked about mistakes, and start the second half off with one of those.
Yeah, and I didn't see. I'm sure it was a blindside block with it coming back to the reverse side of the field, but we'll see what the official called. Oh,
no, they call holding. So let's see the replay and see what they saw. That happens a lot of times when you reverse field. You'll either see blindside blocks, holds, or block in the back. You know, the Beavers set up pretty well. And there's the hold behind the play, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
As
that's that's the only place that could have come from, wasn't it? Yep.
The
only place where there was people in the area.
So the Beavers will start deep in their own.
And I will say that was not much of a hold.
20-yard line. That's where the Beavers start. So it just might have been a touchback. Here's Wheatley under center. Wheatley will hand off up the middle. This is going to be Hollingshead, I believe, up for 3.
Yeah, Boston Thompson, great job for the Tigers. Keep that gain, 3 or 4 yards and put the Beavers in a decision on 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah, 2nd down and 7 coming up. Gain of 3. Moves ball out to the, I guess, to start on the 15. I said it was the 20. It's the 15.
Oh, yeah.
Got my yardage wrong. So Wheatley will come out in favor of Orton. So I think that was probably just a play call rather than. That could mean
a little more explosiveness for Orton. I think you're just going to see the quarterback buck sweep right here. Orton keep it and follow some blockers.
Designed run, trying to get some space. Nothing there. The Tigers smother that play.
Yeah, it's kind of a tall tale, and I think that Wheatley's mobility is a little limited from that ankle deal we've seen him happen there in the first half. So
yeah. So Wheatley will come back in. Now it is 3rd down. No gain on that one. Maybe a loss of 1, actually. 3rd down and 8. Coming up, 10:48 left in this 3rd quarter play. Beavers 14-6 over the Milford Tigers.
I'd like to see Orton maybe slip them gloves off when he goes back there at quarterback, just to leave the illusion that they might pass it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, true. True. Beavers will split 2 out to the left. Wheatley in the shotgun. Back to pass, rolling right.
Oh,
has a pass wide open. There's Radden.
Going for a touchdown.
And Radden will go around the 50, makes a nice cut around the right side, the 40, the 35, being tracked down by the Tigers, and a flag on the play at the 20. And that will be a big gain for the Beavers either way.
Yeah. Yeah, just that same.
Is that a face mask kind of thing?
I couldn't tell what happened. I didn't see a block in the back.
Oh, my goodness, the Beavers. So this will be 2 calls behind the ball carrier. It is a block in the back against the Beavers. We'll take a look at that on the replay. 10:16 left. The Beavers with a big hitter, regardless. And had that pass been just a little bit more in front, no one would have caught Gage Radden. Block in the back against the Beavers. So here's the play. Lots of boo birds coming out. So Bradshaw with a really nice block behind, and what a move by Gage Radden. Has it there, and he's trying to see where the block in the back happens.
Right there.
Oh, yeah. Here's a play. Handoff on this left side. This will be Radden again, and Radden's going to be taken out at the marker. Not much there, just couldn't get the edge. So a gain of maybe 1 on the play.
Great job by the Tigers defense stretching that out, forcing him to the sideline and run out of room.
Yep, no gain. So 2nd down and 10. Clock is at 9:50. Again, the winner takes on the winner of Kanab and North Summit. That ought to be one heck of a game. 2 very physical teams. Lots of size and explosiveness for both.
Same style of football, both teams.
And I've said all year long, it's those 4 and it's a pick'em situation. Here we go. Wheatley fakes back to pass, looking for a receiver, has the pass away, intended for Radden, and that will be incomplete over the head of Radden. Now, people want a pass interference. I don't think so, because I think that Radden had paused, and I don't think there was enough impedance if he just keeps going down all the way, then maybe, but the pause stopped there. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Ball's at the 32-yard line of the Milford Tigers. So most likely 4-down territory for the Beavers. Down to 15 on the play clock. It is a little bit strange with the play clock. You know, teams are not used to it. We're down to 10. And there's no back judge counting. Down to 5. The Beavers line up. Wheatley in the shotgun. Motion for Radden. He'll hand off to Radden around the right side. And there's a reverse. Hollingshead back to pass. Looking for a player. He's left-handed. We'll go around left side. And not much there. Good job by the Tigers. They did not bite on the fake.
Yeah, the corners did a great job of picking Wheatley up coming out of the backfield. And a great job keeping contained.
I think it's that time of the game where I say, hi, Mom. My mom always watching from home on her iPad on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, teamhive.live, of course, KSL Sports. Big thanks to all those who make it possible. Just my public service announcement. If you get a chance, support your local sponsors. These people spend their money and time on our kids. And make sure and resist the click. Don't be lazy. Shop local. 4th down and 7. A big play for both teams. Wheatley back to pass, rolling right. Wheatley under pressure, and he'll go down from the backfield.
Great job, and you could see what Beaver was trying to do. They tried to sneak Radden clear out to the backside open. The Tigers sent 2 guys with him in coverage that time, and Wheatley had nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah, nobody out, so now it will be, could be a punt formation for the Beavers, as now that moves the ball all the way back out to the 37-yard line.
That was 4th.
Oh, that was 4th, sorry. Yep. So now that's where Milford will start on the 37.
So just what Milford needed on that first drive is a stop. It was a little scary there for a minute, but Trenton Thompson with the sack for the Tigers to force the turnover.
We talked about it. It's exactly what happened to the Tigers at the end of the half. They just couldn't, they got down but couldn't score in that same end zone.
Yep.
Here's the Tigers. Here's Sosi over the middle. Ball tipped up and, dangerous.
It was almost tipped far enough that Merriweather had a touchdown waiting.
No, completely true is that ball. Sosi threw that hot. That was a hard pass. Great job by...
If he'd have thrown that 80 instead of 70 miles per hour, Merriweather's going up the sideline.
Yeah, it would. It would have been an assist. I think it was Barnes, but that pass came hot into the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think Barnes had a chance to catch that. 2nd down and 10. 9:08 left in this 3rd quarter. Beavers 14. Milford 6. 3 receivers right for the Tigers. Sosi back to pass. Looking over the middle. Turns under heavy pressure. Escapes the first load of pressure. Has some space. He'll turn and run. And there is Carter coming up from the backfield. Gain of 3.
Yeah, great job by Davis Carter. You know, he's playing clear back at safety. And then he seen what Sosi was going to do and come up and make a play. Carter, just a sophomore, right?
Just a sophomore. That's a couple times. I think he's in for Caleb Carter with the injury, but that's a couple times. Carter, he had the interception.
Yes.
And now a tough stop. 3rd down and 7.
Big deflection down here, too.
That's right. So three big plays for the sophomore.
Sub of the game right there.
I was going to say, the Timberline Restaurant sub of the game might already be set for Davis Carter. Back to pass, here's Sosi. Sosi over the middle. Here's the pass away, and just couldn't quite make the grab. 4th down coming up.
There was that play we talked about, that little dump off the netto, and Sosi just put a little bit too much heat on it this time.
Yeah, and it was open. So 4th down coming up for the Tigers. So both teams unable to get into the Beaver Valley Chevron end zone. Beans and brews at the South Interchange in Beaver. Here's a punt. And the kick is away. We'll take a bounce and go out of bounds. Keep that away from Blackner. Ball's around the 30.
Yeah, you get them low line drive punts. That gives the returner a lot of time before the defense or the punt team can get down and cover it. So good job by Barnes putting that one out of bounds.
You know, you can feel, Tyler, the unsettled feelings on both sides of the field with the Tigers and the Beavers.
We can hear the crowd getting a little more into it right here on the Beaver side. I'm sure the Milford side is the same way.
Well, the tension is palpable. You can feel it. It's like they're just waiting for something to happen. One of these teams right now is just back and forth. Wheatley, quick pitch out to Blackner. Blackner following blockers, cuts up. Ooh, big hit. Short gain on 1st down.
Yeah, Toby Lorenz, the first guy there for the Tigers, and Braden Carter and Trenton Thompson in to clean it up. But still that 3 to 4 yard carry that the Beavers like to see.
2nd down and 7 coming up. 7:58 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Albrecht and Orton will bring the play in from the sideline. Coming up next will be San Juan and Delta. And the big question in 2A, can anybody get close to the San Juan Broncos?
Yeah.
Here's Wheatley handing off to Blackner. Blackner with a big hole, sidesteps, cuts back. Makes one player miss, trying to get the edge, can't do it, but what a run by Blackner.
Yeah, he ended up getting near a first down yardage on
Thompson,
second down.
Yep, Thompson on the tackle. He gets down to a third and very short. He ran about 40 yards to pick up 6.
Yeah, the Tigers, you know, the D end on this side, he just gotten a little bit out of position to be able to contain that cutback.
So 3rd down and 1, 7 minutes in the 3rd. 14 for the Beavers, 6 for the Tigers.
Now the Beavers have had penalties in this 3rd and short situations a couple times.
There's a handoff up the middle. Ooh, had to sidestep a tackler. I think he's going to get the first down.
Yeah.
So it will be a first down. Let's see, it depends where the spot. It's going to be very close. They call it a first down.
Yeah.
So that'll be another Riverstone Contractors first down. Call Pete at Riverstone Plumbing and Heating at 435-896-6264. That's 896-6264 for services in Beaver. So the Beavers, that's a huge first down.
Yep. Yep, it was. And you know, like I said, they've had some penalties on them 3rd and shorts on previous drives. So
there's a quick pitch out to Blackner. Blackner trying to get the edge. Cuts back against the blocker. Great move. He'll gain 4 or 5.
It's going to be, about a 5. So, you know, the Tigers did bottle him up, but he's still able to, you know, fight his way forward.
The Tigers are selling out on the run just a bit in that middle.
Yep.
And, you know, just, and I don't think that's a bad philosophy. I think you've got to make the Beavers beat you on the pass.
Yep.
And
the problem is they've beat us on the pass 2 or 3 times in key situations that we weren't ready for.
It's true. If you watch, there's, you know, all the players in the box. They'll split out just a tight, but there are 10 players in the box. And there's a great play by the Tigers.
Braden Carter, he finally got rewarded. He's been so close all game long, and that time he was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, loss of 3 back to the 39-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Boy, he actually almost had the handoff. He went in untouched.
If he had a running back pedigree, he may have taken that handoff.
It was close. What a big play. 3rd and 9. Split out to the left is Noah Wolf. 5:20 left in the 3rd. Again, 8-point lead for the Beavers, 14-6. The winner advances to play next week's championship game. Wheatley back to pass. There's a flag on the play. That'll be against the Beavers. There's a wide open receiver. Caught. Not caught. Dropped. And just couldn't quite get it. Wouldn't have mattered either way. I think this is an illegal shift on the Beavers. Probably declined.
Yeah.
I would guess. Because it wasn't blown dead, so. So we'll see. We'll wait for they're talking to Coach Thane Marshall. He says we'll decline it, so it'll be 4th down for the Beavers. So the Tigers hold on the 2nd possession. So it looks like a punt formation will be coming for the Beavers. So illegal motion, so declined, 4th down, so the punt team will come on. So both defenses, these at one point these teams were the 1 and 2, and now they're still 1 and 2 in 2A. So they've played like it.
Well, and just that was big too on that play. Wheatley puts that ball in front of Bradshaw right there. Is that who it was?
Yeah.
He makes a catch. Then it changes the theory. Beaver gets another shot.
Right. There's the punt, and Albrecht will get it to Colton Barnes. He'll pick it up at the 29-yard line. Barnes right up the middle, flag on the play. And no, we haven't seen too many mistakes by the Tigers. This might be one of those.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get a hold or what the official saw right there. I don't think it was a block in the back.
So really no scoring since the 7:36 left in the 2nd quarter. It's just been a kind of a tussle for the
first 3 offensive drives, or did we have a punt?
It was the 3. It was 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
There was 1 punt.
Yeah.
So holding on the Tigers. So both teams have had a penalty on a punt situation that caused field position problems. So Milford will start on their own 25-yard line. Long field, and they've got 4:57 left in the 3rd. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Now 3 to the right, as Walker will step up. And Sosi in the shotgun. So she hands off to Neto. Neto has some space this time, and he's going to get a rare positive yardage for the Tigers. Nice play on 1st down.
Yeah, nice little 4-yard gain. And there's one of them honest runs that you like to see. Keep the Beavers defense honest.
Yeah, blocked pretty well.
Yeah.
As you know, all engaged. Good play by the Beavers to stop that for more. Gain of 4. Clock running at 4:50 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 5, long 5. 3 left, 1 right. That's Barnes isolated on this right side. Fakes a handoff. Sosi looking down the lane. Has a wide open receiver. Intended for Walker.
Underthrown ball by Sosi. Still should have been caught by Merriweather for where he laid, but.
Yeah, I thought it was Walker, but it was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Merriweather. So 3rd down coming up. Tigers miss a golden opportunity all by himself. So Sosi with a 3rd and 6 coming up. 4:31 left in this third quarter of play.
Merriweather, I mean, is probably undoubtedly the fastest guy that's on the football field right there. He catches that ball, it's
gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. Here we go. Big 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. 4:31 left. Sosi back to pass. Looking over the middle, passes away to Barnes. Oh, hits the Beaver defender. A rare miscue by Sosi.
Roughing the passer.
And a flag comes out. There'll be a roughing the passer, so that'll be a mistake on the Beavers. So instead of 4th down, it'll be a 1st down. Let's see if we get the roughing the passer on the replay. We might not. Yeah, personal foul, roughing the passer. So let's take a look, see if we have that play. Yeah, just went in low and took out that one leg, so it'll be against the Beavers. 1st and 10. That moves the ball all the way to the 44-yard line. Milford Tigers with new life. Little momentum. 3 receivers to the left for the Tigers. Sosi alone, empty backfield. Here's a blitz. Pass is away and incomplete. Well covered by the Beavers linebackers.
The pressure of the Beavers front guys is getting Sosi and forcing him off his spot. You know, he's not comfortable standing back there. His feet are still moving while he's throwing and has lost some accuracy because of that.
Right. Clock stopped at 4:21. Again, the Beavers 14, the Tigers 6 in the semifinal matchup. These two teams have been evenly matched this season. Of course, the Beavers, as we talked about in the pregame, a 1-point win as the Beavers went for the win in Milford earlier in the season. Right now, it's the Tigers down 8, but with the ball. Here's Sosi on that right side. Pass is going to be complete to Merriweather for a loss.
Yeah, and you just bank on that receiver being able to make that first guy miss to get to the next level, and Gage Radden wasn't having any of that.
Now, Gage Radden's played a great game today as, played it perfectly. 2 receivers out there, they sniffed out that play.
Yep.
So 4 minutes, 3rd down and 11.
If you see Merriweather crash in a little harder and get behind that inside block, he probably can get a gain, and Radden has taken himself out of the play, but
right.
It was just straight up one-on-one.
Sosi, empty backfield. Barnes and Neto to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Sosi back to pass, looking for the out receiver. Throws the long ball, open receiver. Oh, just short-armed it. Sadler Barnes was open.
Yeah, and it just shows you what that pressure does to a quarterback, you know. Sosi just didn't really, I guess he did get to step into that one, just underthrew it.
Yeah, Sadler Barnes had broken open. So now it's going to be a punt formation for the Tigers. Hey, this is a big blue and red day.
Yeah.
Starts with the Tigers and the Beavers, and then moves on to the Utes and the Cougars later tonight.
Yeah, that should be a good football game tonight. I know University of Utah's struggling a little bit and BYU's on a roll, but you can expect it's going to be a good football game.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the punt formation. Barnes back to kick. There it is. Nice high punt. Blackner will let it bounce.
Out of bounds.
And I'm surprised he didn't catch that one. That'll be an out of bounds, and the Beavers will have a long field.
I don't know. It almost looked like he lost track of where he was on the field and thought that ball was going to bounce into the end zone.
So still, these two teams, neither one has taken control with momentum. But, after the touchdown for the Beavers, it's basically just been 50-50 ball this whole morning. So it's kind of, is one team gonna step up, or is this how it's going to end?
Yep.
All it takes is one play in this kind of a game to reestablish momentum. High school football, more than anything, I think is a momentum type game anyway.
Yes.
1st and 10. The Beavers will start on their own 12. Handoff up the middle. Good yardage on 1st down, gain of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, good job by Andrew Hollingshead. That's one of his bigger gains of the game.
Yep.
Up the middle. he's going to check out.
This is the worst field position, starting field position of the game for the Beavers at their own 12. 2nd down and 4 coming up. Ball at the 19. 2:59 and counting at Zions Bank Stadium. It's a beautiful venue here in Harriman. Here's a handoff to Radden. Oh, that's Blackner. Blackner will get to the 20, try to get forward, and gets near the first down, but it'll be 3rd and short.
Yep, just short. I didn't see who was in on the tackle for the Tigers. I think Judd Netto was one of the guys that was there. Dodged a block, and
substitutions on both sides.
Boston Thompson was a guy there too. One thing I can say about the Tigers defense, they've caused themselves a little bit of problem is they're hitting these running backs high too much.
Yeah.
They're hitting high and letting them fall forward. If they can start getting a little bit lower, it may change the outcome of some of these plays.
Yeah, the yards after contact have been, 3 or 4. Here's Wheatley. He'll hand off to Horner. Horner sidesteps the first one.
Oh,
can't get the second one.
tackle.
What a play on the outside.
Sadler Barnes, is that who that is over there?
We'll see.
Yes, it is. I can tell by the way he's walked, but he sideswiped Horner, and Horner had a first down, and here comes Sadler Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes did a great job. You talked about not taking him high. That was on the ankles as necessary.
Yeah.
So 4th down, punt formation for the Beavers. This could result in good field position for the Tigers. Down 14-6 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Big thanks to Beaver Valley Hospital. Renovations coming along as the new ER will be open in the next couple of weeks. Here's Albrecht back for the Beavers. He'll punt from about the 10-yard line. Snap is back. Kick is up, and is a low kick taken by Barnes at the 48-yard line of the Beavers. They'll bring it up the side, has some good lane, and it'll be the Tigers with good field position.
One thing that I've noticed the Tigers have done the last couple punts is they've showed that they're going to bring the house, and it's been and the Beavers have countered by sucking everybody in. And I think it's gave Barnes that extra room to get some good yards on the return.
There's an opportunity for the Tigers with 1:23 left in the 3rd, down by a touchdown. They start with a very short field at the 35-yard line. Best starting field position of the morning. Sosi alone in the backfield. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Motion for Barnes, and they'll hand off. No, Sosi keeps himself, runs into blockers. He'll gain a couple. Boy, if he would have given that to Colton Barnes, if the play would have gone to Barnes, he had that edge.
Yeah, I think it was a read, and I don't know what Sosi was. He was reading 64 Max Albrecht right there, and Max did a great job.
In replay, I see. Yep. I didn't see Albrecht live, but he was there.
Yep, he did a great job of stopping both guys, really.
Yeah, that might have been the right move. Initially, I thought it was a mistake, but as you watch the replay, nope, Albrecht was there playing where he's supposed to be. 3 receivers left for the Tigers. Neto in the backfield with Sosi. 45 seconds left in the 3rd. Sosi back to pass, looking left. Has a pass away. The Beavers there.
Ooh.
And luckily for the Tigers, that was overthrown.
Yeah.
Because 2 Beaver defenders there in perfect position.
Yeah, we just keep trying to throw jump balls into 2 and 3 coverage. I mean, it's just 3 guys there for Beaver, and there's not a lot of wiggle room.
So that was intended for Merriweather. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Ball's at the 32.
And you see, I seen right there from Merriweather what you see from NFL receivers. As soon as they see they got 2 guys cover them, they quit running the route too, He didn't think he was going to get that football.
Yeah, nearly an interception. Blackner there. And Sosi back to pass with a 3rd down. Adjusts, turns and looks under some pressure. He'll go to the side, throws out, and a caught to Barnes. Barnes to the 10, he'll go out of bounds, but what a catch by Sadler Barnes. So that'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Sosi had to put a bullet into that ball into the hands of Sadler Barnes.
Yeah. So there's some momentum for the Tigers. They've got a 1st and goal at the 7 on a great catch by Barnes on a tough pass from Sosi. Tigers with a little zip in their step. Sosi under center. Sosi pitches out to Neto. Neto on the left side. Oh, he's punished. No gain on that one.
Yeah, just
wow.
The Beaver defense is just so tough defending the run.
Yeah. Holy cow, what a shot that was. Hunter with the tackle and others. Puffer, a couple others. So it'll be 2nd and goal, and the Beavers, that'll end the 3rd quarter play. And what a game we've got here at Zions Bank Stadium. 14-6, the Beavers on top, but Milford with a 2nd and goal. We come back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, all sponsored by KSL Sports.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Trust. Earning yours is our top priority. At Valley White Co-op and Ag, we support our growers and local communities with all of their propane and ag needs. Our expert energy group supplies residential and commercial propane services, including tank installs and monitoring, so you'll never run low or empty. Our local agronomy services include fertilizer, seed, and the expertise of a local crop advisor to meet your farm's specific needs. Valley White Co-op and Ag, serving the Delta Valley with integrity and customer service. Visit valleywhitecoop.com or call 435-572-0244.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. Second and goal from the 7 for the Tigers as we start fourth quarter action. 14 for the Beavers, 6 for the Tigers on the phones. The Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Sosi will have a pass over the middle. Touchdown to Sadler Barnes.
Great play, and it's just that play action that held them linebackers just long enough, and Barnes was able to sneak behind.
Yeah, and those are two. Is there a flag on the play?
No, Sadler come up limping.
Oh, okay.
I think he twisted his ankle.
In the celebration?
I would hope not, but.
So the Tigers within 2 will probably go for 2. I can't imagine anything else. 14-12 at the 11:58 mark. But how many times have those two done that through the years?
Yeah, it was a great find by Sosi and Barnes across the middle of the field.
14-12 our score. Big chance for the Tigers. Down 2 with the 2-point conversion pending. If just a reminder for those of you who don't know, the Beavers and the Tigers played to basically a draw. The Tigers went for 2 for the win in Milford, unable to get it. So here's the Tigers trying to tie it up. They're down 14-12 with a 2-point conversion. Sosi in the shotgun, takes a snap, rolls right, back to pass, has a pass complete on the side, and we're tied up. 14-14 at Zions Bank Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a great football game. Both teams, have done some great things, but the momentum has shifted in the Tigers' favor right here by putting that scoring drive together.
Was that?
Griffin Walker.
Walker.
Yep.
So 5-8 for the score. We're all tied at 14, and now the momentum goes to the Milford Tigers. We're all tied up going into the fourth quarter of play. These two teams have played evenly and continue to do so. We talked about it, like who would grasp momentum. So far, it's been the Milford Tigers.
They did with that offensive drive, and the experience and the nature of Beavers' team. You can expect they're going to come back.
Yeah.
Right here. They're going to battle. They're not going to lay down. We talked about it. They don't panic, and they're just going to come out and do what they do.
Yeah. So here we go. Huge opportunities here. 14-14. We just basically start over. Beavers with the ball. And it'll be a kickoff by the Tigers. Who kicks off for the Tigers?
We've had about 15 different ones.
This is number 7.
Boston Sullivan is the guy.
Sullivan?
Yep.
So the Beavers with a short kickoff formation. There's the kick, and it's going to be an onside kick. It's not going to go the 10 yards, I don't think.
Ooh!
So those of you watching on Team Hive, the ball went 9 yards.
Yep.
And so it's gonna be great field position for the Beavers on the 49 of the Tigers. But the ball kept rolling, and I just stopped and waited because we didn't know if that ball was going to keep going or not. And it just missed 1 yard, and then the little scrum started.
Yeah.
Trying to get it done. So the Beavers with good field position, short filled at the 49. 11:58 left in the fourth. We're all tied at 14.
I thought it would be a flag on that play, and then the Beavers got to decide what they wanted to do. Isn't that the way it should go?
I don't know, to be honest. Here's a handoff up the middle. Nope. Wheatley option left side. Oh, fake by Wheatley, and he'll get a loss of 1 on the play. Great job by the Tigers on the option.
Yeah, they covered up all aspects, and Wheatley did a great job keeping that ball, but Judd Netto come from linebacker from the blind side.
Yeah, Netto made a great play, played it very well as he kept, you can see, eyes on the quarterback the whole time. Yep, great play by Netto. 2nd down and 10. Clock running 11:32. We're all tied at 14. on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Just a reminder, we'll have a player of the game sponsored by State Farm Insurance. Here's Wheatley. Wheatley back to pass. Wheatley turns and throws a pass open to Orton for the first down and more as he breaks into across the 35, down near the 30, and it'll be first down. Beautiful play.
Yeah, great job. Wheatley just being patient, waiting for the receiver to come open, and there's them yards of after catch on the Beaver side this time.
Well, and Wheatley did a really good job of extending that play, allowing Orton to release on that left side.
Yep.
So it'll be first down and 10, ball right at the 35. We're 11 minutes left in this one, this first semifinal matchup. Winner takes on the winner of North Summit and Kanab. Wheatley under center. Wheatley will hand off up the middle, Hollingshead. Hollingshead, oh, the feet taken out from him, gain of 2.
Yeah, Boston Thompson and Judd Netto, the 2 middle backers for the Tigers, tag teamed up on that one, and Hollingshead, they went for his feet, and he stopped where he was going.
Yep, second down and 8.
We have talked about that before, right?
We have a couple times. Another epic game between these two teams, separated by 35 miles, Milford and Beaver. 2nd and 7 coming up. Wheatley under center. Motion for Radden, and it'll be a handoff to Orton. Orton trying to find a space. He'll get a few yards, 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, and this is that area that the Tigers like, that you want to put Beaver in, right? It's 3rd and 4 or 5. They could still run it for a first down, but they may have to pass it, so it's kind of a decision point.
Right.
You know, if it's 3rd and 3 or less, you know you can run and get up. But you get that 4 to 5, it's not a guarantee.
Probably 2-down territory for the Beavers, though, also.
Yes. Yep.
With the ball, unless, you know, we talked about mistakes. We've seen some mistakes. Here's Wheatley. Wheatley will pitch out to Radden. Radden trying to find the edge. And there's Radden with a first down and more as he nears the red zone at the 20.
They're gonna get him for a hurdle.
For jumping.
Yeah, they're gonna get him for a hurdle.
So we'll check out the replay here in a minute. So I think if the player goes down to the knee is what they'll be discussing. If the player was down the knee, you can jump. If the knee's down, you can jump. You can jump over the player.
Player's already on the ground.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see what we see on the replay. Knee's down.
Ooh,
so his knee was down, and we have the benefit of replay. The officials do not. But you can jump over the player. So let's see what the call is.
He's pointing
nope,
back.
It's going to go back. So they're going to say personal foul on the Beavers. That's a 15-yard penalty, a costly one. And I don't know what the official rule is, so I won't really comment because I don't know. But my understanding is if the knee's down or the player's down, you can jump over the player.
Yep.
You just can't jump over a player who's on his feet. Correct?
Yeah, I agree. And then I don't know if we were in a position to see if Barnes was all the way down or if he was going down before they threw.
So nonetheless, it's going to nullify a big play, 3rd down and 12. So we talked about mistakes here. There was another call that cost the Beavers.
Yep.
And here's Wheatley back to pass. Has good contact, a wide open receiver, but the player's there. Nearly intercepted by the Tigers, Merriweather.
Yeah.
Well played.
He was there. He intentionally he just told Coach T the sun got him.
Oh, okay.
He just told Coach T the sun got him. Dane tells him, I want you to catch that ball and take it to the end zone, but I seen him point at the sun.
So 4th down, and the Beavers look like the offense coming off the field. So it's a short field, but again, with the penalty, you know, it puts you in that no man's land.
Yep.
So Albrecht will back up. Barnes will step down by the 5-yard line. Albrecht with the punt will punt to the sideline and does take a Beaver bounce. Really nice bounce for the Beavers down to the 10, so a long field for Milford.
That was Albrecht's version of the coffin corner right there. He didn't really kick it hard.
No.
Got that good spin on it and starting position at the 9 for the Tigers.
Yeah, so the Milford Tigers, they have the momentum and they have the ball, but a long field also. They'll start at their own 9-yard line. So 91 yards for the go-ahead score. We're all tied at 14 in this first semifinal matchup between the Beavers and the Tigers. Dave, we'll get Statman Dave. Oh, I don't have a Statman. Oh, there's Statman Dave. Give me a total yards for the game if you don't mind, sir. Financial Services.
272 for Beaver, 132 for Milford.
272 to 132. Here's a handoff on the side. Not much there, and it'll be a loss on the play.
Yeah, that's just a great job by the Beaver defense, not letting Edo get around the edge.
And Barnes comes up a little bit slowly on that outside edge.
Andrew Hollingshead, leading tackler, great middle linebacker, has great instincts, was all over that play.
Yep, Hollingshead, tackle leader for these Beaver High School Beavers.
And he's just a top-notch kid.
Yeah, he is. All these kids are great, honestly. 2nd down and 12. Sosi in the end zone, back to pass. Pass is away and going to be intercepted by Andrew Hollingshead at the 21-yard line.
Great job. Great defense. Slipped in front of Sadler Barnes. Sosi trying to force that ball in, and the momentum has now shifted.
Yeah, the ball just kind of came off poorly, but it was just basically Hollingshead with a great play in the right spot as he was trying to find Barnes over the middle. Huge change of momentum here. Got 8:32 left in the game. The Beavers will start inside, well, near the red zone at the 21 of the Milford Tigers. This is the first time the Beavers have started on Milford's side of the field. Here's Wheatley, and he'll have a design quarterback run following blockers. He'll go up the middle, and a gain of about 8.
Yeah, and you can really feel that momentum shift right here, and Wheatley did a great job waiting for his blockers, being patient, and sneaking that ball right behind him.
Yeah, the Beavers go into the red zone. Gain of 9 on the play. 2nd down and 1. 8:10 left on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Reagan Bradshaw splits to the right with Orton. And Wheatley will be in the shotgun. Wheatley runs to the right side, follows a block inside to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Beaver.
There's a flag over on that far sideline.
So most likely in a illegal motion or shift category. We'll see what the official call is. Wade still waiting. Beavers moving back, so I'm guessing it's on the Beavers. Yep. So illegal motion on the Beavers. And again, another mistake by the Beavers. And these little small 5-yard penalties have been just deadly against Beaver.
Yeah, take away a gain of 8, 9, 10 yards and a 1st down. Now you're looking back 2nd and 6 or 7, which is behind the chains in a run.
Well, and it stops a lot of momentum and excitement. So you just kind of one of those discouraging type plays too.
Yep.
So we'll see how the Beavers respond with a 2nd down and 6. Wheatley will hand off. This is to Hollingshead. Hollingshead with a big lane and inside the 5-yard line. Didn't matter. 1st and goal, Beavers.
Yeah, got down to where Wheatley did pretty much on a big run by Andrew Hollingshead.
So the Beavers have done something on this short drive that we haven't seen as they have started to run up the middle. Milford's been able to, keep that down all game long, but they've had some success on this drive.
Yeah. And that's probably going to be the biggest rushing gain of the day for the Beavers, I would say, wouldn't you?
Might be.
A gain of 15, 16 yards.
Yes, sir. So that'll put the ball at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Here's Wheatley. He'll hand off. Here comes Blackner. Blackner's bunched up. No gain on that play. Maybe a loss of 1 back to the 4.
I just got word that the penalty on the Beavers is their guards are getting too deep into the backfield.
Okay.
That's where they're getting that illegal shift in.
And frankly, throughout the season, we've seen that call a few times.
Yep.
It's not that uncommon. North Summit, it was several times.
Yep.
So 2nd and goal from the 4 now. Clock running with 6:41. 14-14. High drama here at Zions Bank Stadium.
See if Beaver tries to sneak in a pass right here.
Wheatley will hand off to Orton, tackled right at the line, so short gain on the play. 3rd and goal from the 3.
I think 2nd down would have been a great job to try to get a little play action.
Neto with the tackle. Good job by Judd as he came up and filled the hole. So 3rd and goal. Down to 6 minutes and 10 seconds and counting in the first semifinal game. Championship game berth on the line this morning. Coming up will be San Juan and Delta following this game. Wheatley now in the shotgun. Wheatley on the right side, design quarterback run. He goes in. Touchdown, Bodie Wheatley.
Great play design by the Beavers. Spread them out with the shotgun and use Wheatley's athletic ability to get into the end zone.
The Beavers take the lead back. So after almost 3/4 of no scoring, we've had 2 touchdowns in exactly a little more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So on the turnover by the Tigers, the Beavers make the Tigers pay, and they lead by 6 with Lurth on for the extra point. Orton with the hold. Kick is down and up, and the Beavers lead 21-14. And Tyler, that sets up the same kind of thing we saw before.
Yes.
Down in Milford, as the it was just one more touchdown on the board, but 21-14.
Yeah.
And,
clock was about at the same point.
It was.
It's almost deja vu, except we see 1 and 4 there instead of 8 and
8 and 7. 8
and 1.
So here we go. 21-14 with 5:49 left in the football game. This is another great one between these two teams in the first semifinal matchup. And it was on that turnover, because the Beavers have really struggled with anything in the second half, but that turnover cost the Tigers big time.
Shift the momentum, and Beavers capitalize on it. They overcome the adversity of the penalty, and that was huge. I do feel like that the Tigers, they answer to this kind of pressure a lot better than they answer to. They had the ball to go take the lead. So.
Well, and the Tigers, let's remind, the Tigers have been known to come back. They've been down in a few games. They were down against Duchesne and came back, down against Beaver, came back, down against Kanab and came back. So this team is deadly in the fourth quarter as well. Here's a kickoff by Horner as a high kick, and going to be taken at the 10 by Colton Barnes, running to the right side. Barnes tries to get around the corner, keeps his balance as he goes over the player, and it'll be the Tigers with the ball at the 25.
Where did he take that return from? I didn't hear what you said.
The 10.
About the 10. Gotcha.
So about a 15-yard return for the Milford Tigers. Colton Barnes.
Yeah, great coverage.
Out to the 26.
Number 8, Reagan Bradshaw. I don't know if you called his name or not, but he did a great job containing Barnes right there.
So Reagan, a senior for the Beavers. 1st and 10, ball at the 26. 5:41 left, Beavers by 7, 21-14. Sosi, empty backfield. Back to pass, looking over the middle, and he's under heavy pressure, and Sosi will be sacked. Puffer with a big hit.
Jex Puffer with a great job from his defensive. Last game we called his name a lot. This game, the Tigers, I think they've double teamed him, but that time there was no stopping him.
Yeah, Puffer just in the backfield. You can see he just blew by his player. And good help by Gillens as well. Lots of pressure. The whole pocket collapsed on Sosi with that one.
And Sosi had enough time to get the ball out of his hands early, but the routes just weren't developed yet.
2 receivers right, 2 left for the Tigers. Neto in the backfield. Sosi back to pass, looking right. Here comes the pressure again. Escapes from Albrecht, comes across the field, and a huge catch by Merriweather.
Yeah, if Merriweather doesn't catch that ball, it's probably intercepted for a pick 6.
So a big completion for the Tigers. Gets all the yardage from the sack back and a couple more. It's 3rd and 8 coming up. 4:46 left. And no huddle offense for the Tigers. Sosi alone in the backfield. Sosi back to pass, has a pass away over the middle, and just couldn't quite get it to Walker.
I felt like Walker kind of gave up on that route just a little bit too soon.
What I'm wondering is, it looks like that from here, but I'm wondering if it was way further out from the side than we think. So, because, yeah, he didn't even, it looked like it was close, but maybe it was not. Let's take a look and see. I don't know.
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell from the replay. 4:36 left, clock stopped. Beaver 21, Milford 14. Milford with a 4th down and 8. This is huge for the Tigers. Sosi. We'll see if they call a timeout. They will. Timeout on the field, which means it's a Tony and Dave's timeout. A 3rd-generation body shop with exceptional service to get you back on the road. They fixed a few of my vehicles, sadly, but they've done such a great job, I was sad no longer. So Tony and Dave's right there on Main Street in Beaver. Give them a call. Your great collision repair specialist, Tony and Dave's. We'll take a short timeout. Be back in 30 for a 4th down play for, let's just keep it here, Tyler. Let's talk about the importance of this one. With a 4th down and 8, 4:36 left, what do they look at?
It's hard. It's a hard decision, right? Because you almost would rather punt the football away right here But the way that Beaver runs their offense, you're looking at 2 first downs, and it's game
and
over.
The game's over.
And I think that's what the pressure is right here.
And plus, with the offensive power the Tigers have, I think this is, I mean, it'll get second guessed regardless of the outcome of this play. But you've got Barnes, and you've got Sosi, Walker, Merriweather. You've got some talent on the field. And this is not as big a risk as it might be with some younger teams. This is a seasoned team.
Yep, so we'll see what the play call is.
Yeah, this is a big one. Another nominee for a Farm Bureau Financial Services key play of the game. 4th and 8. Here's Sosi, back to pass. Looking over the middle, passes away, and gonna be caught, intercepted by the Beavers. That's Noah Wolf. Wolf, following blockers, goes in, and he'll take the ball down to the 25-yard line. Noah Wolf.
Yeah, and the Tigers tried to get 20 instead of just 7 right there. I don't know. I mean, you've got the playmakers to make a big play for sure, but you just need 7 yards right there to keep your season on the live.
Yeah, but to credit Sosi, he stood there and watched, and just nothing opened. So I think, and honestly, if Wolf knocks that down, they get the ball closer in. So the Beavers with another opportunity. This is prime time. Ball at the 24. Here's a handoff to Hollingshead. Hollingshead spins and will get a couple yards. Good tackle. And a good play by the Tigers. Number 13, was it?
Yeah,
Orange?
Toby Lorange.
Yep.
See on the replay. Oh, sorry, Boston Thompson and Colton Barnes.
Yeah, it was Colton Barnes actually down low that stopped Hollingshead. Sometimes people get credit they don't deserve sometimes. Replay helps. Reagan Bradshaw split out to the right. The Beavers likely 22 yards away and 3 minutes and 50 seconds away from another state championship game berth. Here's Wheatley, and he'll go down, loses his footing, no gain.
3rd down. If the Tigers get another stop here for no gain or short gain, you'll probably see Coach Stain use one more timeout. They've already had to burn 1.
So 3rd down and 8. With 3:22 and counting. Play clock down to 15.
Decision time for the Beavers.
Yeah.
Do you want to be conservative, or do you want to go for a knockout blow right here?
Here's Wheatley under center. Wheatley will fake a handoff, rolls to his left side, and there'll be a hold call on this one. But the Beavers going to lose yardage on the outside.
So I almost say you decline that penalty, right?
Yep.
If you give them another chance, it's just another more time you run off the clock. So
well, it'll make it 4th down and 14 with if they decline the penalty, it'll be 4th down and 14 with the loss. It depends with the running team. You also it looks like Coach Marshall will decline it, but with the running team, maybe you say, hey, let's take the yardage. But you've also got to think of the time, because I mean that's another play.
He's talking right here. He's finding out what they're gonna. So the officials told him that play was going to be called still in bounds because they contacted in bounds. Okay. So he's going to decline the penalty, and he's probably going to call a timeout to stop the clock. That's what went on right there in the conversation.
Yeah, most likely. So we'll see. Here's the official call. It's going to be a chop block. That's a 15-yard penalty. Block below the waist. And holding also declined. So there were 2 penalties on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down and a timeout. Good job, Tyler. You got that right on. We'll take a short break. And 3 minutes left in this one. 21 Beavers, Tigers 14 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and TeamHive.live, all sponsored by KSL Sports.
I'm Dr. Winters, a general dentist in Richfield. I invite you to take advantage of our 20 years of experience when it's time to get your wisdom teeth out. We offer IV sedation so you can sleep through the procedure. We are right here in Richfield, so we are close by for all your pre- and post-operative needs. We strive to make the process comfortable, easy, and affordable. Visit wintersdental.com/wisdomteeth or call or text 435-896-6444.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. It'll be 4th down for the Beavers. The ball's resting at the 29-yard line. And this is not over, Tyler. This is going to be a big down as can the Beavers convert or can the Tigers hold, leaving the Beavers with I don't think they're going to kick a field goal from this distance. That would be a lot.
A first down puts the ball a game.
Horner can kick it that far.
Can he?
Yeah, he can. But, you know, it's probably just you go with it and then see what happens. So here it is, 4th down and 14. Wheatley. Heavy to the right side. Wheatley under center. Wheatley will fake a handoff, back to pass, rolling to his left, has pressure from the backside, and he's hit as he throws. The ball's loose, won't matter, and Milford holds. They'll have an opportunity with 2:55 left in the game.
And I believe they've got 1 timeout left. Great job by the pass rush of the Tigers D-ends, Max Williams and Toby Lorange on not giving Wheatley.
Yeah.
I didn't even look to see if he had open receivers down the field.
No, neither did I
was watching
I
the
wouldn't
chase.
know. So now the Milford Tigers, 2:55 left in the game. They've got the ball on the 29-yard line. That's where they'll start. And the Tigers did a great job. Beavers started on their own 24-yard line.
Yep.
And basically lost 5 yards on the possession. Sosi in the shotgun. 2:55 left, 21-14 on the Beaver Valley Hospital scoreboard. Pass away. Ooh, nearly intercepted by Jex Bradshaw. Close.
Yeah, great job by Jex falling into that little short coverage area. And the Beavers have done a great job. They've made some fine adjustments of taking away the short stuff, and they're not giving up the long stuff either. So.
Well, you talked about it before the game. You said who made the adjustments so far in that middle flat pass. The Beavers made whatever adjustments they needed to make.
Yeah. And give credit to Andrew Hollingshead and Jex Bradshaw, too, for maintaining that.
So Barnes and Walker to the left, and then Sadler, Barnes, and Merriweather to the right. Sosi back to pass, looking right. Has a pass up the side, and a flag comes in. There'll be a roughing the passer call on the Beavers again, or a hold, but I'm guessing it'll be a roughing the passer.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
It looks like it's on the Beavers, so we'll take a look at the replay when it comes up. 15 yards for the Tigers. That puts the ball out past the 40 to the 44-yard line. Penalties costing the Beavers. They said it's a blow to the head. Personal foul, roughing the passer. And let's look at the replay. So
I didn't see it.
No, neither. 44-yard line. There's the ball. Sosi back in the shotgun. He's got an empty backfield. 3 right, 2 left are the receivers. 2:47. Sosi back to pass, looking to the right side. Under some pressure, and he will be sacked. Just nowhere to go. His own lineman was in a spot where he couldn't see him.
Yep.
Couldn't move.
Yeah, Jex Puffer standing there waiting. Sosi jumped right into him.
Yeah, and so that's a loss of about 11 on the play. A huge loss. Yeah, Puffer just kept moving, and it's a solo sack for Puffer. 2nd down and about 21. Sosi over the middle, and pass intended for Sadler Barnes, incomplete. 3rd down. That was a huge sack for the Tigers.
Yeah, and the Beavers got this pass game kind of bottled up right now. See, the Tigers need to come up with a little bit different combination of routes, break your guys open.
Yeah, they've done a good job with the Barnes, with Colton and Sadler Barnes both. Done a really good job. 3rd down and, what is it, Tyler?
20.
20?
Just short of 20?
Yeah, just 19. So 3rd and 19. 3 receivers left. Sosi shotgun, back to pass, looking to his left. And there's the pressure. Sosi able to get out of it the first time, but not the second. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, the Beavers brought an extra rusher that time in Davin Orton and Gage Ratton. Also, they blitzed 2 off the edge. And, you know, Sosi he got through the first guy, but just too many guys.
Yeah, Maverick Albrecht blew into the backfield, and now this is huge for the Tigers. 4th down and long. They've got to get all the way out to the 46 of the Beavers, and the ball's on the 25. Back to pass is Sosi. Here comes the blitz. Sosi with the long pass. Wide open receiver. He's got to get to the sticks and can't do so. And that'll be a turnover on downs. That might be the ball game.
Yeah, with only 1 timeout left.
So a long play, but the Beavers, you could see they just set up that line just, about 5 or 6 yards from the first down, and that's exactly where it went out. And a huge stop by the Beaver defense. So downs, both teams turn over on downs consecutively. So 21-14 now with 2 minutes left. This is where this ground and pound Beaver football becomes a problem for the Tigers with that minute 59 left.
You can't give up a first down here. It's pretty much ball game over. Beaver will be able to kneel it out.
Beavers at the 46. There's a handoff to Hollingshead. He'll get 7 yards across the 40. Down to about the 39. And so the clock will be stopped as Milford will take their last timeout. We'll take a 30-second break and be back. 1:53 left, 21-14 Beaver on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, sponsored by KSL Sports.
This is Nate Christensen at Zions Bank. We're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. And with a branch right around the corner, we're here for you wherever you are. For all your personal and business banking needs, come visit us and let us show you how Zions Bank is for you.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Minute 53 left in this football game. The winner plays for the championship next Saturday at Southern Utah University. 21 for the Beavers, 14 for the Tigers. Beavers with the ball, their destiny in their hands. Here's a handoff up the middle. There's Orton, first down, across to the 30. And I'm not sure Milford can stop the clock. That could be it. It's going to be close. One more first down probably would be required.
Yeah.
So it's about 35 seconds each, so it's close. So I think you'll see the Beavers using the whole clock. Minute 33 left. Wow, what a game. These two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah, it's been a great back and forth battle.
So it is a victory formation for the Beavers. So Wheatley will just step on the ball to avoid any type of fumble. And there's the snap. And so minute 15, the clock will run. Probably a couple more. What a game. You know, you can go back and watch these games on TeamHive.live, and this be a great game to watch back.
Yep.
Fun times.
Yeah, one more knee is gonna end it.
Should do it. So you've got 16 seconds left on this play clock. I'm not sure they'll even run a play on this. Okay, they will. So they set up 9 seconds, the Beavers. There's a snap and the knee. So 35 seconds left, 36. And the Beavers will celebrate. They defeat the Milford Tigers, but the Milford Tigers with a great game. But the Beavers will move on to play in another championship game. And for the Beavers, it's a remarkable run. This will make 9 in 10 years for the Beavers playing for the state championship in the 2A and now the 1A classification.
Yeah, just a great job by the program, the coaches at Beaver High School. I know it's been over about 3 different coaching staffs as far as in that 10-year run, but they've just done a great job. They do a great job building in their youth programs, and they've got a great thing going for them.
Yeah, but give some credit to the Milford Tigers as they gave the Beavers everything they could handle, and in it right to the end. And for the classification smaller school, this is a game that they can be extremely proud of.
Oh, you bet. Just getting here to this point is a great accomplishment for Milford, with the battles that they have to face from a size battle, right? But
sure,
obviously they're not going to be happy with losing this game. They felt like they could get to the championship, and they played good enough to get there.
Yeah, they did.
No doubt. Beaver just had one more thing go their way today for them, and got into the end zone. So
well, and both teams had some mistakes.
Yes.
In the end, it was one mistake by the Tigers that was a little more costly than the others.
Yep.
And that score, a couple missed opportunities, but this was so evenly played. But a great game on the field, well played by both teams. So the Beavers advance to a championship game, 21-14 over the Tigers. This is your Sunrise Engineering postgame, serving communities like yours all over the Western United States. That's Sunrise Engineering. Big thanks to them. We're going to take a break and be back with our postgame on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and KSL Sports.
I'm Dr. Brandon Beck, and I'm one of the general surgeons at Central Valley Medical Center.
One of the best parts of my job as a general surgeon is to interact with a wide variety of people. And many of those people have experienced chronic conditions or painful things for many years. And there is nothing better than helping them to work through those conditions and to have an improved quality of life. I'm happy to be back in Utah at Central Valley Medical Center serving the people in our community.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking's #1 investment has been dependable truck drivers like you. That's why they provide their drivers with an opportunity to earn up to $75,000 a year driving state-of-the-art equipment. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers in Utah, San Pete, Sevier, Juab, Millard, Beaver, Iron, Carbon, and Emery counties. Barney Trucking offers a competitive wage, solid benefits, home daily schedules, and an excellent safety record. Apply today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
In the fast-paced world we live in, every second counts. Whether it's staying productive in your home office or enjoying entertainment with no buffering. With CentraWave from Centracom, experience ultra-fast, next-generation, reliable internet that keeps your whole family connected. CentraWave by Centracom. Fast, reliable, everywhere. Get connected today. Visit www.centracom.com/CentraWave or call 1-800-427-8449.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Here in Beaver, Utah, we take farm to table seriously. Our cheeses are made using milk from family farmers just down the road and processed next door by artisan cheesemakers. It's what makes our cheese curds the best you've ever had. And when you visit our store off I-15, you'll feel our deep farming roots as you enjoy a meal, a scoop of ice cream, and farm-to-table cheeses. With outdoor seating and room for kids to learn about dairy farming and cheese making, it's the most fun you'll have on your next drive through Utah. Visit thecreameryutah.com to learn more.
Bose Auto Parts is a locally owned company, and their mission is to be the leading parts provider by serving their customers, team members, and communities through hard work, integrity, and striving for excellence. Bose Auto Parts has 5 key locations across Utah: St. George, Cedar City, Beaver, Mount Pleasant, and Saratoga Springs. Bose delivers to wherever you are and community you might be in. Between their stores, they have won 16 Platinum Awards, 4 Best of Iron County, 3 Best of Southern Utah, 2 Best Places to Work. That's Bose Auto Parts.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. It's time for the Sunrise Engineering postgame, serving communities like yours all over the western United States. That's Sunrise Engineering. They're growing and they're hiring, so check out Sunrise Engineering at sunrise.eng.com. And what a great way to start our semifinal Saturday with the Beavers defeating the Tigers 21-14. The Beavers move on to the championship game. But Tyler, as we watched this game, it was just the style of game was more of a Beaver kind of a game. It was a little slower pace, a little more of a grind kind of pace. But the Milford Tigers came to play.
Yeah, they did. First, I want to give a shout out to Bo and Bo's Auto Parts. You just seen his advertisement play there on the commercial. So there's a great place. It's a great place to work for also.
Yeah, it is.
So, anyways, as far as the game, Milford and Beaver, we just talked about it. 8 points separates them in 2 games.
Down to the wire both times.
Down to the wire both times. Beavers championship experience, I believe, was a factor right there in them last 2 or 3 possessions. They really grinded it out and was able to get ahead and then make a key stop to stop Milford. But I mean, what can you say? A shout out to Milford High School. Like we talked about, 110 kids in their student body.
Yep.
They've got probably half the kids on the sideline that Beaver has, and to come here, get into the top 4 of this classification of football and hold their own. I mean, I couldn't be more proud to be from Milford and a Milford Tiger fan. They've got a great bunch of seniors, and they played their hearts out. They played their hearts out this game, but
they did.
Beaver did a great job, had a great game plan. In the second half, they made a great adjustment to take away the short and the long passes, and Milford's run game really hampered them. Not being able to run the football really hampered Milford because Beaver did a good job adjusting to them short passes and the long passes.
And I think the X factor to me, it was the defensive line of the Beavers did not allow the rushing yards at all. And so they were able to drop back, cover those flat areas because the line was controlling the running area of the line of scrimmage, not necessarily controlling the line of scrimmage the whole time, but putting pressure on Sosi on the passes. You know, they were just beating the blocks, just, you know, bull rushing. And I think that defensive line was probably the difference maker in this game.
You bet. Beaver's three-man front did a great job, and give credit to Coach Steve as well. He did a great job of timing up some blitzes and some pressure packages with Radden and Orton there on that final drive that was able to stop Milford. So
yeah. Great job overall. So both teams playing very well. It'll be the Beavers advance to the championship game. Let's take a minute for a stat check. We're going to invite Statman Dave in now, so we'll throw him in there. Stat check sponsored by Farm Bureau Financial Services. Farm Bureau agent Rachel McCauley is a locally owned and operated small business. Give Rachel a call. She can help you protect what you love with Farm Bureau Financial Services. So give her a call. And Statman Dave, another great game between the Tigers and the Beavers.
Doesn't get any better than that, Scott. Great entertainment, and you know, we've said this before. It's unfortunate that one team has to go home a loser because both teams really put it out there and gave us a great show tonight.
Yes, they really did. Talk to me a little bit about the stats and what you see.
Well, Beavers ended up with advantage. You know, the run team, they ended with advantage 316 total yards. 204 of that was on the ground. Milford had 134 total yards.
Before you move on from there, so the Beavers, you know, all season long have been about two-thirds
rushing, one-third passing.
Yep, one-third passing, and that's a deadly combination for the Beavers.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest stat that stands out to me, you know, is 3 turnovers for Milford and none for the Beavers. And, you know, I think that makes the difference in the game right there.
Right.
But the other thing that's really really speaks for the defense of both of these teams is the number of sacks. Beaver had 5 sacks. Milford had 2 sacks, and you think, well, 2 sacks against 5. But Beaver's a predominant running team. 1/3 of their plays are passes, and they got sacked on 2 of them.
Right.
So,
that's right.
You know, Milford defense was pressuring Beaver all day long. And the tackles for loss from both teams, Beavers had 50 yards. They tackled Milford for loss, and Milford had 27 yards. They tackled for Beaver for loss. So, the defensive stats actually show up quite a bit more than the offensive stats in this game.
And it was a hard-hitting football game.
Oh,
I mean, they were
some of those hits, like, they're going to leave a mark, and they're going to feel that in the morning because some of those hits were, woo.
No question.
So when you look at
review total yards real quick. What was it?
Total yards 316 for the Beavers, 134 for the Tigers.
Okay.
Individual stats: Bodie 5 for 9 for 112, and Sosi 14 for 31 for 164. And then rushers. You know, Milford doesn't rush that much. Beavers we've talked about that all year. They've spread that out amongst many backs. Deegan Blackner had 59, Gage Radden had 47, Hollingshead with 39, and Davin Orton with 30, and then Bodie Wheatley had 25 of his own. So that's, you know, I think Milford did an excellent job against that stack of running players that Beaver has, and really made this an exciting game.
Yeah, they did. And they made the Beavers work for it. Beaver gets about their average on the rushing side of the field, but at the same time, it was hard work.
Yeah, no, they had to earn every minute of it for sure.
Okay, anything else stand out for you, Dave?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate Statman Dave being here, and also with Brad James from Centricom and Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network as they help us with the stats. And a big thanks to Rachel McCauley at Farm Bureau Financial Services. We'll take our final break in the Sunrise Engineering postgame. When we come back, we'll have players of the game and look forward to the rest of the day. There's a lot of football to come on TeamHive.live and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. You don't want to miss any of it. Some great games upcoming after this on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, and KSL Sports.
The quarterback counts on his O-line for protection in the pocket. In Delta, you can count on Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay to protect your family's blind side no matter what life throws at you. Chad is there to handle all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't scramble around working with multiple insurance companies. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Chad Drubay today and see how he can help protect what matters most. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
We are all part of a team. Whether you are the quiet hero or the newest recruit, the steady anchor or the moral support, your team needs you. At Intermountain Health, Fillmore Community Hospital, we want to be part of your team. Partner with us on your health and continue to be a game changer for your teammates.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back. The Beavers defeat the Milford Tigers 21-14 in a great semifinal matchup between these two teams, separated by 35 miles. And a great game by both teams. The Beavers do advance, and they will take on the winner of Kanab and North Summit. Let's talk a little bit about our players of the game. First of all, our Timberline Restaurant sub of the game. This one was pretty easy. Tyler, describe what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to go to Davis Carter. For the Beavers. I mean, he did a great job stepping in, filling in a free safety, strong safety, back one of them cover guys for the Beavers. I think they use it as a multiple position, but he come in, had an interception, had a big pass deflection down at the goal line, and then just made some unbelievable plays filling in for, I believe, his cousin that got injured in the first quarter. So we're going to give that award to Davis Carter.
Yeah, Davis Carter, well deserving. And let's, you think about this. The Tigers have, if he doesn't make that interception, they have one more shot at the end zone with Colton Barnes, Sadler Barnes, Griffin Walker, all of the players, Merriweather. They've got another shot at the end zone, but that stopped the half for the Beavers, and that could have been the difference.
You bet, no doubt. So great play, great job, and Davis Carter, you definitely deserve that award.
Now it's time for the player of the game, sponsored by State Farm Insurance. Brent Stapley's my insurance agent. He can be yours as well. If you're stuck in a state of falling behind, need home, auto, and more, to call Brent Stapley, 435-438-5451. Brent Stapley at State Farm Insurance. Big thanks to Brent for sponsoring our player of the game. And I'm going to do a little bit of an audible here because I'm not sure you can call a player of the game. I think there were so many contributions. We talked about, obvious nominees. Gage Radden had a great game. Andrew Hollingshead, how good was Andrew in the middle? He was phenomenal. The defensive line for me, if I were to pick just a unit, I would say it was that defensive line, and then the linebackers made such a big difference in this one, taking the flat away and basically taking away the short run of the passing game for the Milford Tigers. So if I were to say players of the game, I'd give it to a lot of different players, but I think that was probably the key in this one.
You bet. And also, how do you pick just one guy? I mean, that determines the outcome of a football game. Beaver had all 11 guys contributing. I mean, the offensive line, rushing for 200-plus yards in a football game, who does all that work? The backs, they run the football, but they can't go nowhere if they don't get a push from their offensive line. And like you said, the defensive line, they was able to keep Sosi off his spot. He was less than 50% on his completion percentage this game, and that's huge. That's huge. So
which is improbable for a 4-year starter.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about it a little earlier. He went 16 of 19 in the first game. So and to do that, how do you give credit to just one guy? It was a great team collective effort by the Beavers.
Yeah, so congratulations. Our State Farm Insurance players of the game are just about everybody. Really great job with some great honorable mentions. So the Beavers will advance. Next Saturday, 1 o'clock will be the kickoff time at Southern Utah University. You're going to want to travel down and see that one. And for the rest of you, watch it on teamhive.live or listen to it on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. Big thanks to everyone who makes this possible. We have a great crew. We've got Barry Hilton and family, and Joe and all kinds, just too many to name, but a big thanks to make this possible. It's a quality broadcast, and I would actually argue this is as good a broadcast as you see, and it's better than most college broadcasts as far as I'm concerned. The quality, the professionalism, it's a great crew that runs these broadcasts.
Yeah, and if you have any will or reason and want to help out and contribute to these broadcasts to help us make it better, please reach out to Barrett at teamhive.live. He has his name and number broadcasted, I think, daily on that website. You can reach out to him and help out and help make some.
We call him Mr. Hilton.
Mr. Hilton.
Yeah, for sure. So no, he does a great job. Thanks for the production. And so great game, and the Beavers advance. They move to the championship game again, which has been a pretty familiar place for the Beavers over the last 10 years. They play in 9 out of the last 10 state championships in their classification. So congratulations to the Beavers. Congratulations and goodbye to a great Milford High School senior group as well. A great bunch of young men, and we wish them the very best. It's been a great broadcast, a great start to the morning. Next up on Team High teamhive.live. You can watch, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, you can watch the Delta Rabbits take on the San Juan Broncos. Can anyone slow down San Juan? We'll see. Coming up at 1 o'clock. That's right. Right? 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, teamhive.live, powered by KSL Sports. And big thanks to Tyler McMullen. Great game. Appreciate calling the game with you.
Yeah, thanks having me on. It's an honor to broadcast with a legend like yourself, Scott.
I hate to be a legend. That means I'm really getting old, so I'm legendary. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. A lot of football coming up. I'm Scott Langford. He's Tyler Moss. Have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to exciting high school football action on South Central Utah's sports leaders, Mid-Utah Radio and Centricom Channel 10. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. Join us next time for more exciting high school football action on Centricom Channel 10 and Mid-Utah Radio.